But we live.
Okay.
Hello, welcome to the Lucky Hit Curse podcast.
Yeah.
I did say podcast, honest. Oh, suddenly my throat goes funny. But yeah, this is episode 65. We haven't done one of these since September 2018.
Wow.
It's been that long because basically we moved away from Southend and then we weren't near each other. And I think on the last one we did actually mention that we were going to try Discord or Skype or something, and we just never got around to it until now. But obviously we're all stuck indoors at the moment. You know what's going on. And
Yeah, we don't need to mention it by name.
the thing, yeah, everyone knows what it is.
Yeah, not if you're trying to
We-
monetize this.
That, and you know, we
We're
want to
sick
give
of it.
people an escape from having to hear about it from everyone.
Yes,
everywhere.
please.
No more emails from companies just saying, "Oh, by the way, this is happening." It's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, we're quite aware.
It's trying unprecedented times.
So Peter was
Yeah, we didn't have our workers wash our hands before. We're making them do it now.
Yeah. So yeah, welcome.
What's your bite,
This is the first time we have ever done a online podcast. So basically, all our
Yay.
previous podcasts were done in the same room with just a mic and just people around the mic. But this time, we're all across the internet.
We stepped into the future.
Yeah, and we're also doing this live for the first time. We're doing it live.
This
yeah,
is
this-
all new.
This is completely brand new. If anything, I was almost tempted to give this a new name and start from from scratch. But then I thought, oh, I like the fact that we got up to 64.
Yeah,
I
I'd
wanna
love
keep it
to
going,
see.
see if we can get
I'd love to see
100.
these get to 100. That'd be so good.
That'd be a milestone, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Oh, shut up!
Yeah, I'd be ashamed to stop at 64. That's not even a multiple of 5.
Just just make sure.
Straight off the bat, we're getting comments, including, "Are we going to get a Let's Play of Shenmue 3?"
Hey, let's never say never.
Never say
Are you
never.
gonna? Did you let's play Shenmue 1 or 2? yet?
Yeah.
Oh yes,
Oh, yeah,
one
you need to
of
watch
my
those
favourite
if you haven't
things
seen
on the
them, yeah.
entire channel.
Yeah, you need to watch those, especially day 2 of the first one. That's like
Oh.
my favourite video on the entire channel.
Because so it's
I'm gonna have to
rather
look back
joy
at
as occasion.
Oh God, yeah. In fact,
So-
sorry, yeah, go on, carry on. I was just going to say that editing those best ofs was one of my favourite editing experiences I think I've ever had.
Yeah.
Carry on.
So, I'm the Gagger Man, and we might as well just go around the
Table.
Well, we have got
around the table.
Should we go down on the Discord?
Table? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can go.
Okay, so Shelf Gamer.
Hello.
Hey there.
Murray Curry.
I'm Cherry Terrier.
hang on. So it's been so long.
Did you forget what your own name is?
Well, the thing is, I've
He
changed
hasn't-
my name since. So
Yes.
you know, formerly known as Johnny
Honk
Newport here.
Thunder.
Yeah.
What's your
Isn't that
name?
your new name, Hunk Thunder?
Well, glad you asked there.
What's your
Yeah.
name?
It's Hunk Thunder here. Hello.
Also, originally known as Johnny Noobhead.
Yeah. Yeah, more like Johnny New dead now, but you know.
The artist formerly known as.
Yeah.
So they're the 5 that are in the thumbnail art. But we also have a person thing.
And
if
that
you wanna
would be
introduce
me.
it, if you wanna-
My name. I'm sorry. Let me start
It's
over.
Michael
See,
Twain.
see, it's not as easy as you think.
My name is. My name is. My name is Elk.
Oh,
Plays
Jesus
and
Christ.
Here on
What is
am I
your
too loud
name?
again? Hey.
So this podcast is now officially international.
Right. I am an American. I was gonna say, here on YouTube, I'm called Elk Plays and Paints because I used to
yes.
do Let's Play channels. Let's Play videos. Sorry, I'm breaking away from that. But you can just call me Elk or Big Elk.
Cool.
It's like Big Elk.
The old elk.
Excellent.
So yeah, I guess just to warm things up, I guess we should do what we usually do with this podcast and just all talk about what we've been playing. I don't know who wants to go first. If someone wants to just chime in and start.
Well, it's going to be a bit difficult to recall what's happened over the last 2 years, but we'll try.
I mean, basically, with this podcast, now that we've got this set up, I'm kind of hoping we can try and do this maybe weekly or at the very least fortnightly. So maybe just talk about what you've been playing for the last few weeks, or since we've been stuck indoors, I guess.
Yeah.
Sounds like the plan.
Cut-off point.
Okay, who wants to go first?
Oh, I can go first if you like.
Go on, Ian.
Mhm.
So I spent last 50 odd hours playing Super Robot Wars V on the Switch.
Oh yeah.
Super
So-
Robot Wars 5, or is it actually?
It's actually V. Yeah, it's part of the VTX series. But yeah, I got that on PS4 a while back, but because you got to rebuy everything on the Switch, so I rebought it on the Switch.
You have to.
You have to.
You have to.
to.
Even when you
Oh,
have to go the
yeah.
roundabout way of getting Asia English versions, you still got to do it. So yeah, I sunk quite a bit into that, doing one of the playthroughs of that. That was really good. Very
I saw
pretty
the
game.
clips you posted on the Discord of like some of the battle animations. That series has always had spectacular
Oh yeah,
work, and just like they've put like all these. You showed me like some Cowboy Bebop clips that are in it, and it's got like the whole intro as an attack. It's
yeah.
insane.
It's frankly ridiculous, and like it's one of those series where they will merge all the franchises together, and somehow it makes sense, and the plot just doesn't completely go off the rails, and I don't know how they do it. So yeah, I've been playing that, and today I played and finished Resident Evil 3.
I haven't got that
The
yet.
remake?
But I should
How long's that been out?
specify I
That
played
literally
the
just
original
came out,
Resident
didn't
Evil
it?
3.
Sorry?
I
which
specify that I played the original Resident Evil 3 today.
Oh,
not
the
the remake.
Ah.
I was gonna say. I thought
Well, I
maybe
do
you
have
would-
that.
Because it's one that I haven't done, and I thought I'd go back and do it before the remakes come out.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah,
Not a bad
nice.
idea. No.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good idea. 'Cause
it was good. Yeah, the only thing I will say is like it's a bit ridiculous how much ammo you get in that game.
Yep.
It's so. I think I finished with 170 handgun ammo and 60 shotgun ammo, and I killed most things.
That's
You
the
know?
thing. It was the first game they introduced gunpowder, I believe, so they just went nuts with it.
Mhm.
They're just like, fill your boots.
Yeah, when you've built, once you make enough ammo, you can make enhanced ammo, and then your handguns fire about as powerfully as your shotgun does. So
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but no Resident Evil has really done that since, has they?
I don't
Well, they-
think so.
No, they put the gunpowder in the
Code
remake.
Veronica?
No, the remake of 2's got it,
Oh, okay.
but you don't get the
Oh, it
enhanced
did.
ammo.
That's a bit more fair because the enhanced ammo is really what makes it. Because once you get the
Yeah.
enhanced ammo, I've got all of this handgun ammo, and I can't use it even if I try because I just can't. There ain't enough things to kill.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it did get a bit ridiculous.
My
But
favourite of the old ones was 2, but I did last year play through 1 again, and I
Yeah.
really liked that. Like it was so
Yeah.
close to topping it.
2, I think, is the most fun to play, and I think 1 has the best atmosphere.
Yeah,
Are you
definitely.
talking about the remake specifically or the originals?
No,
Uh,
the
both,
original.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
okay.
Yeah. I mean, I would say it's doubly true when you're talking about the remake, especially the remake of 1.
Yeah,
Remake
Yeah.
of 1 was stunning.
I
Yeah, it
really
really
want to
is.
get through that. I just bought them recently, actually, on Wii. I need to actually bust out the
It's-
Wii and get on with it.
Yeah,
It's
I
no.
have. I got that on PlayStation 4 through a Humble bundle a
Oh,
long
nice.
time
Cool.
ago.
Yeah, I played it on PC. It was
That-
I mean, sorry.
It came with Resident Evil remake and I believe Resident Evil Code Veronica X,
Oh, yeah.
which
I
is
saw
the
that bundle,
PlayStation
actually,
2 version of that game.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah. Oddly, you can get Code Veronica X on PS3, and it's like an enhanced HD version. But
yeah,
if you get
that's
it on
on on PS3 that's a HD remaster, and on PlayStation 4 it's an
port.
emulation of the PlayStation 2 game. It's
Yeah.
it's part of their short-lived PlayStation 2 classics lineup
Yeah.
on PS4.
Oh,
which is a shame. But if you get it on PS3, that's probably the best way to play Code Veronica now, I guess. Or Dreamcast if you have one. Well, no, it would be the PS2. Might be.
Everything's better on Dreamcast. It's the
Yes.
Dreamcast.
So yeah. Oh, and I've been playing a bit of Space Harrier because I just bought that on the Sega Ages, and that's been good. Like all the Sega Ages have been. So,
I'll tell
yeah.
you what, I'm really aching at the moment to do a Lucky Hit plays of Resi 2 because you would not believe how much I've practiced that game.
I mean, I'd love to tune in on that. To be honest,
Yeah, I mean, you were around when I was practicing it once.
yeah, exactly. So, but I tell you what though, my friend has been playing Resident Evil 3 remake. It's very short.
Oh,
It's short, is it?
Yeah, his second.
A year after 2, I was shocked when it kept, like how quickly they turned around another remake. Like,
Yeah,
I guess
well, it's
that
just like-
explains how they pulled it off.
Well, it's just like 3, wasn't it? 3 was only came out a year later as well on PS1.
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
It was-
Also,
yeah.
I've played the demo and I can tell you that there's a lot of recycled assets as well.
Mm. Well,
Like,
he
zombies are
I'm
straight
not
up.
surprised.
his second playthrough he did in 59 minutes.
Ah, wow.
Yeah, so it's quite
That's
short.
kind of a
Just
shame.
barely
It is
got
a
it
bit.
under an
Yeah, I
hour.
thought it might,
Impressive.
I mean,
Yeah,
Resident
I
Evil
was-
games are never mega long,
I was
but
surprised
Yeah,
when-
but that sounds like your second playthrough shouldn't be an hour.
no, it should be like 2-3
I think I
hours.
spent. I think that's about how long it took me to get to where I'm at in Resident Evil 4, and I don't even think I'm halfway through the game.
Oh, I would say 4's one of the longest by far.
Yeah, it's quite a long one for us. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's about all I've been playing. I've been dabbling with Killer 7 because I want to actually get that done on
Hey.
PC.
Oh, nice. That's
I
a
love
game
that
I really
game.
want to
What game was?
visit.
What game was that?
Killer 7.
Oh, I had
Sorry,
a
don't worry,
wee
don't worry.
accident.
Oh, Killer 7.
Not a literal
Yeah.
Wii accident, I hope.
Nice.
Scottish wee.
What's happening? Scottish Wii.
my earphone popped out, basically.
Oh, so
I
yeah,
don't even want to know what it took just to get this podcast going, trust me.
so yeah, I'll end what I've been playing there because I'm talking too much about what I've been playing. So
That's
What
cool.
Sega Ages game was that, sorry?
Space Harrier.
Ah, nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I
It's
haven't-
a
I
damn
haven't
good
bought my-
version
I
of
haven't-
Space Harrier, though.
Most of those Sega Ages games yet, because most of them were basically on the 3DS, and I already got them there, and I love
Yeah.
the 3DS version so much with like the extra depth. Like,
There
it's
isn't-
pretty
there
much
isn't-
the only
Yeah.
thing I used my 3DS for.
Well,
Other than
Space-
Street Passing was all the 3D Sega stuff.
Space Harrier doesn't have a ton extra over the 3DS. I mean, it's
I know,
got
it's
got that weird thing where you got the little dogs and they're like little shield.
Dog shields, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you got
Okay.
you can use the
Yeah,
Wiimote
yeah.
as a joystick to sort of emulate the arcade, which doesn't
Oh,
really
wow.
work.
Oh,
That's
what,
pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I've done that
Joy-Con, like,
before. It's
press
actually
it.
pretty cool.
Ah,
The
okay.
virtual console version on the Wii of Space Harrier also did that with the Wii
Mm.
remote.
Nice. So what, you have to hold it
Oh.
upright?
Yeah, you hold it up right. Apparently, it's a
Oh,
bit
that's
wonky.
cool. Oh, okay.
You've got that sitting on your Wii somewhere, haven't you?
You know
Yeah,
what's
it's
funny
around
though?
Space Harrier.
I actually have an old Microsoft Sidewinder USB flight stick, which
wow.
I've connected to my PlayStation 3 before, and I've actually played Afterburner Climax using that.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Nice.
That's the way to
Might have
play
to
it.
find one of those and try that.
Yeah, a lot of people
Yes,
don't know
yeah.
this, but a lot of USB controllers will actually work just fine on PlayStation.
Nice.
Yeah. So
I
yeah,
think I have tried the odd USB thing on there, and sometimes you'll put them in and like the buttons are in a random order, but otherwise they do technically work. So as long as you can rebind the controls in the game, they're all
Yeah,
right.
that's the thing. You can't rebind the controls from a system level, but if the game
No.
lets you do it, then
Of
you're all
course.
good. Afterburner Climax didn't have that feature though, so I had to figure
Ah.
things out on my own. But just the fact that I could make it work with a flight stick from like 2000, 2001 is pretty.
yeah.
Nice.
Right. So what has everyone else been playing?
Hey, who's
Yeah,
going
who's going
next?
next?
Well, who goes next? Should I go next?
Yeah, go.
Go.
Go for it.
All right.
Well,
So
yes. Be honest.
just yesterday I actually started playing Judgment on the PlayStation 4.
Oh, don't get me started. I love that game so much.
I was about to ask if any of y'all played the Yakuza games.
My turn's coming up.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Tom has
for
been
anyone
playing
who
plenty of
is
Yakuza.
familiar with Yakuza, Judgment is sort of like a spin-off. It takes place within the Yakuza universe. Takes place same timeline, same city. None of the characters appear in it,
I
but
wanna
essentially
say,
it's a
when we
Yakuza
did-
game.
Sorry, I just
Oh,
want
sure
to
is.
mention. I'm pretty sure when we did our last podcast, podcast 64. I'm pretty sure that was when Tom was playing.
Judgment.
I think it was when he was playing Judgment.
Are you
Did it
sure?
come
Because
out
that was
in
last
April?
year.
No, I was about to say it might have been revealed to the last podcast,
I'm
but
pretty sure Judgment.
Maybe that's what it was. Because
Yeah, Judgment didn't come out in the West until
Forward
last year.
Yeah.
2018,
that would be
I
it.
believe
Yeah.
that's when Yakuza Kiwami
Fucking
2 came
my
out.
wires crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's so
But
many
speak-
Yakuza games, I sometimes get confused.
I think
So
what you're
many.
probably thinking of, Gagaman, was January last year when I dived headfirst into the series with Zero.
That's it. Yeah,
I
I think
was
you were talking
smitten.
about Zero that last one. Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah, Yakuza is an excellent series. I actually started with the original on the PlayStation
Yeah,
2
me too.
way back in 2006.
That's
Oh,
the same
when
for
it's
me.
And
as
nobody
well.
knew what Yakuza was. That was
I-
like the first M-rated game that I really enjoyed. And for international listeners, the ESRB rating, it would be equivalent to a PEGI 16 rating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Is that just a 16?
Yeah,
I'm
but
quite
Yeah, I
sure
think they
Yakuza's
have
18 here.
the
I
It
think
is.
so. I'm looking at the
Or
box.
PEGI
Yes,
18?
it is.
I don't know.
It is
But
18 over
anyway-
here.
Yeah.
But
I thought it might
anyway, I recently finished Yakuza Kiwami 2 last week. So
Oh,
that's when I
that's a good
started
one.
Judgment.
I was surprised with Kiwami 2 because the first Kiwami was pretty much down to the original, but they used Zero's engine. But I didn't expect Kiwami 2 to use the, I think they called it the Dragon engine for
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, the Dragon engine. That's the one they debuted with
One where
Yakuza
you
6.
can actually
That's
walk in the
right.
shops
I
and
didn't
actually
expect them
walk.
to. That's the one, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't expect them to have that one, that engine in Kiwami 2. So I got into it and I was just like, oh, yeah.
I remember imagining after Yakuza 6 and Kiwami, I was like, I really want them to remake 2 next and do it in the Dragon engine. And that's exactly what ended up happening.
They
Yeah.
heard you.
And to their
You
credit, it was
spying on
really
them.
good.
It's one of my favourites too, because Kiwami 2, should I say? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and another interesting thing about Judgment I wanted to talk about, in the Club Sega arcades, they have a couple of games like they have Space Harrier, they have Fantasy Zone, they have Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown.
Yep.
And interestingly,
Yeah.
they also have Fighting Vipers as well, interestingly.
Yeah.
And they also have a game called Motor Raid. Now,
That's the one. Yeah.
Mhm.
Last time
Yeah.
I was actually down Tom's way. I was actually Tom was showing us a bit of Judgment.
Yeah,
and I actually had to go. I had to go at Motor Raid, didn't I? It's just like this is
Yeah,
the first
Motor-
time this has ever been ported to anything. It's stuck within this.
most people
piece
wouldn't
of
even
film.
know what Motor Raid is. That's a
Exactly,
very
yeah. I
obscure
only
I was
know
one
of
of
it because it was in Sega Saturn, mate.
Yeah.
Maybe I
It
saw
was-
it in an arcade once, maybe. But I don't know.
apparently
I saw it
Motor
online.
Raid was also available as a conversion kit for Minx TT Superbike,
That makes sense.
but Minx TT Superbike ended up being the more popular game by a
easily.
landslide
There
in
was
the Western
loads
world.
of Manx TTs.
Uh,
Here in the UK, there's loads of them. You
Yeah.
still see the odd one. in
Yeah,
places.
there's a bunch in North America too, actually.
Considering it's based on like a European thing, I'm surprised. it took
Yeah,
off in
yeah,
America.
it's interesting because this
in America. as well.
Manx TT that's a European thing that takes place in the Isle of Man.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
that's right.
actually a separate country from the UK, even though it's near the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we went to the Netherlands last year, and we went to those little Tonton clubs.
Oh, yeah.
Which was like an arcade bar. They had a Manx TT there,
Mhm.
and I was looking on my phone trying to find the sheep cheat. And I was trying to actually do it on this machine, but I couldn't get it to work. I've always done it on the Saturn version. Basically, there's a
I've
cheat
never
unless
heard
you
of that
fry the
cheat
sheep.
actually.
Yeah, if you play the Saturn version, look up the cheats for it, and yeah, you can just fry the sheep.
I'm gonna have to see if that's in the PC version as well because I
think
have
it
the
should
PC
be,
version.
because the PC one is based on the Saturn version. I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
got, Psygnosis. So
So yeah.
I'm pretty
I
sure
it's just,
should
it would
be.
have been cool if they'd fight as Mega Mix in Judgment with like
Yeah,
This
Pepsi
rate, I
Man.
wouldn't be
It's
surprised
Fighting
if they
Vipers
did.
actually.
Yeah.
Fighting Vipers is in Judgment.
They're just
I know
going to
there's
have
no
a
Pepsi.
Yakuza game. At some point, they're going to make a Yakuza game. Pull out a Sega Saturn. It's like, oh, it's got Radiant Silver Gun, and
Yeah.
Dragon Saga, and this is the only way you can play it. You have to play 10 hours of this game to get to Panzer Dragoon Saga. There you go.
I do it though.
Yeah, too right. I do it.
I mean, it's possible that Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise
Yeah.
game had the Hokuto no Ken SC3000 game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
tell
the
you
one
what,
that
I can't
came out
believe
here is
how
Black
much
Belt.
they squeeze into those games. It's kind of bonkers, just how they managed to let's put Virtua Fighter 5 in there just cause.
Just cause, you know.
we've got,
Just
a, bit,
'cause,
we've got
yeah.
a few gigs spare, you know.
And let's reuse it again for Judgment, because the first time they used it was Yakuza 6.
Yeah.
I mean, if they did fighters,
Speaking of Virtua Fighter 5, Tom, you might have to tell
Oh,
a little
yeah.
story.
yeah,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
You're showing us Judgment.
Mm.
When Gaga and Cherry visited late last year, like you say, we were playing a bit of Judgment. I
You
was
could
just
say we faffed
showing
about
them.
in
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and
house.
yeah, I was showing them about. I'm actually a little bit. I'm still a bit sore with Judgment at the moment because I've literally got 99.9% completion on it. The only thing I'm not able to do is the Puyo Puyo challenge, where you've got to do like 25 at least wins in a
yeah.
row, and I can do about 4 if I'm lucky. I'm still very sore. But the other challenge I didn't actually manage to do was to beat all of the fighters, every round on Virtua Fighter 5, including the Jirao bonus stage, and I always lost to Jirao at the end. So
Hell.
my
I think
then,
I only ever beat Darrell once in that game.
I'll wait till you hear this. with Gago Cherry and myself in attendance, my then 5-year-old did it.
You might have to elaborate. Basically, one of the challenges you needed to beat was that one in Virtua Fighter 5, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Every
Yeah.
single because you can use continues, can't you, on every other stage until
Yeah,
the Jirao.
Till him. That's
Yeah.
a
If you
one-shot
lose
deal.
Jirao, that's it. You still get the game over. So I would always, slog my way because I am terrible at fighting games, and Virtua Fighter especially. I'm just crap. It's just I just can't do it. I've been trying at this point for months and months on end, and my 5-year-old just he just really likes fighting games, and he picked what's the name of the sumo character?
Oh,
Takarashi?
That's it.
Yeah, him. And I mean, obviously he was just button bashing. He's very young, but he did it. To his credit, he did it, and we were all jumping around the living.
He was doing this one
Damn,
kick
you
move.
beat
Yeah,
Darrell
Just-
with
he looked like the
Takarashi.
Ryo's. He looked like the Ryo's cool thing, didn't he? He was just
Yeah.
like doing one leg out, then the next leg, then the next leg, and the characters were just falling in on their asses constantly. They kept getting up, falling down, getting up, falling down,
And he
bringing out
managed.
every single match. Every round of every match was just characters falling on their asses over and over again to his kicks, just non-stop. It was insane.
Ah,
We
so
were
that's
just-
the
the
secret
house
to
went down when you
beating
beat
Darrell.
I was
Yep,
jumping
Just
around
pick the
the house.
sumo and
you know.
kick a bunch.
Yeah. So
It
yeah,
was
like I say,
phenomenal.
he beat that, and now the only thing I've got to do is the Puyo. So I'm just trying to play lots of Puyo at the moment, try and train up.
Right.
Oh, but what about when Hector was trying to do one of the bosses in Judgment?
Oh, he was doing a fight in it as well, and he was like dodging all over the place. And...
Oh,
I think you've got like a prodigy gamer in the works there.
Well, it's funny you should say
He's at
that.
that age, and he's already just like,
Future Evo champion.
yeah, he'll be there.
I haven't
playing
told you,
Fighter 7.
I haven't told you what he's been wanting to do this whole lockdown ever.
Oh, right.
He wants to go in the garden and, in his words, play Yakuza, which means he just tries to beat the crap out of me. And I'm talking like proper recreations of the heat actions as well.
Oh god.
Oh,
He's
No,
like
you know
picking up
what? I
chairs.
actually used to do the same
Getting
thing as a
poles out of
kid,
the ground.
except with the Battletoads arcade.
Oh, dear.
So you
thought it
just
was
like
worse.
grew giant fists.
Yes, I would pretend.
Had like
I would
American
pretend that my
football,
fist turned
helmets
into
on
a
and stuff.
big ass drill.
I bet the turbo tunnel was fun when you were a kid.
Actually, I don't even remember if the arcade game had that.
I don't know.
'Cause I
actually.
didn't play the NES game. I played the arcade game when I was a kid.
Oh wow! Oh, did you actually?
I
have
didn't
a
even know
arcade
there
that had
was an
it?
NES game.
I actually only played it on Super Nintendo as a kid. I still couldn't do it.
I had it on Mega Drive for the longest time, which is
My
basically
brother
Windows 10.
and I beat the Battletoads arcade game a long time ago.
Nice.
Ooh.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That kind of
Yeah, we beat
It's even
the
harder on
we
multiplayer.
beat the X-Men arcade game once too, with a bunch of other random kids.
Welcome to die.
I
You
really
are
wish
dead.
I really wish I bought that X-Men port they did on PS3 before it got delisted.
Oh,
Yeah, I got it on Xbox 360
Yeah, that was one of those
along
games
with
I
the
regret not
Simpsons
buying.
and Ninja Turtles
I
arcade
got the
game.
Simpsons one, but I didn't buy the X-Men one. I just thought, wow, I'll wait till it goes cheap. It never went cheap, and then it got delisted, so never got to grab that one, unfortunately.
I still regret passing up the Sega Rally Online arcade game.
Oh yeah. I think I've got that sitting on my PS3, and
I still have
think
the
that
demo on
Outrun
my
got,
360.
the Outrun Online arcade got delisted as well, didn't it? Eventually,
Yeah.
I've got
still
that
got-
sitting on my PS3.
I've only got the demo of it, unfortunately, but yeah, I don't want to get rid of it because it would be gone.
Yeah, I presume.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, I should get back to the other games I was playing.
Oh, cracky.
I went back to my 3DS and I also played Rhythm Heaven and the Emperor's Treasure. Not Rhythm Heaven,
nice.
sorry, Rhythm Thief.
That's the
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Rhythm Thief, yeah. Oh, that's really underrated. I've still got a copy of
Yeah,
that. Look
I'm
into
sure
that.
most people
quite
have
a cool game.
forgotten about that game, but it's really cool. I really like the music in it.
Is that the game by Game Freak? Or am I thinking of something else?
No, that's
Uh,
Harmonite.
Oh, Harmonite, yeah.
Rhythm
Yeah, this was
Thief
a
is
Sega
from
game,
Sega.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know the one, yeah. The one with
Take
the
the
guy in
Bundle
the suit.
bundle.
It's got kind of a Professor Layton kind of
Yes.
art style to it. But
Yeah,
if
yeah.
I remember
Something
right,
like
it's
that.
a
Yeah. It also
really
has animated cutscenes, just like Professor Layton
Yeah,
and
they were
the
definitely going for that
3DS Phoenix
aesthetic.
Wright game.
Yeah. Yeah, they were definitely going for that Professor Layton aesthetic, but for rhythm game instead.
Mm.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Actually.
I actually got this game a couple years back in a humble bundle of Nintendo games.
Oh.
So it was a bunch of
So it's like
it was a
download,
bunch of
yeah.
codes for eShop games on the 3DS and Wii U.
Oh,
Which
yeah,
tells you
yeah.
how
We
long
had
ago this
something like
was.
that over
Yeah,
here.
we
I
had
think
one of
we
them or
did
two of
something.
them. I grabbed.
Yeah, I think I got Freedom Planet on my Wii U from that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Freedom Planet on
Nice.
bundle, and so was Runbow.
Yeah, that's it. That's how I got Rumbo as well.
And I
grabbed
think
We played that
Affordable
on,
Space
Shantae,
Adventures,
No,
Shantae and the Pirate's Curse.
That's the one I
yeah.
got.
That's
Yeah.
what I got, yeah.
that was on the
it must
Wii
be
U
the
as
same
well.
Yeah.
here,
And this
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
time, I'd redeemed Rhythm Thief on my 3DS, and I never played it. So I thought I should finally give it a shot now.
Hmm.
And how is it? I've never heard of it.
Well, I haven't gotten.
I played it.
I can't say that I've gotten too far in the game yet.
Right.
Not for lack of trying, of course, but it is
Hmm.
it is really good. It's just that it's also a little imbalanced in that there's a lot of moments of talking and exposition, which normally I don't have a problem with, but the rhythm action stages, they come so far and few in between, and they're very short too.
Yeah, I seem to remember that as well when I played it. It's been a long time since I played it, but I definitely recall. Like
It's a lot-
The actual gameplay is like a couple minutes, and then you're just like in cutscenes for ages.
Yeah, it's a lot like how I would compare it to like Sonic Unleashed, where people would talk about how the daytime stages with Sonic were the best part of the game, but they were also they go by super quick compared to the
Like a
nighttime
tiny
stages.
By
with
definition,
Sonic
they're
the Werewolf.
fast.
Yeah,
It's a lot like that, except that at least when you're the werehog, you're still playing the game.
yeah. Even if it's not a great game at that point,
Particularly
but, yeah.
good game, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I do actually kind of want to go back to Sonic Unleashed and give it another try again.
I must
That and
admit, if they
Sonic
did do
Riders
a
Zero
new port
Gravity.
ran at a better frame rate and stuff, I'd actually be totally fine with that.
Well, didn't they do a mod for the PC version of Generation Scene?
Yes,
They
that's-
did. They
that's
did.
basically
They
made
inserted all of the
only-
daytime levels into Sonic Generations.
Yeah.
with the exception of Eggman Land, but someone else modded that one in at some point.
I'd love to
Yeah.
see someone do that for Sonic Colors as well. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
I think
people
that's
have
already been
trying.
done too.
Some
Oh,
people
cool.
are trying to pull,
But
some
it's a little limited because they
Mm.
can't get all of the wisps into
Yeah.
Sonic color stages. They're limited to whichever wisps were
In the
used
wisp
Sonic
area of
Generation.
yeah,
of course, yeah,
there's only like 3 of them, I think.
yeah.
Right. And then occasionally I've been playing Mr. Bones on the Sega Saturn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I've
that
got
game is
knocking
very
around.
charming. Except
That's-
for the
that's another
longest
game-
time, I've been
that's another
stuck
game
on
you
that
were
level
About enough.
where you're supposed to navigate over a frozen lake.
Oh,
You know
I
this
don't know if
level
I don't
in the
even know
game?
if I got that far. I think I got a few levels stuck.
Okay, well
quickly.
this is on disc 2 of Mr.
Yeah,
Bones.
I definitely didn't get to the disc.
Oh yeah, I've tried like dozens of times. I cannot pass this level.
That is a
One day I'll
bizarre
get
game.
to it, but it's really challenging.
Yeah, maybe I should play that on a Sega Saturn one day.
Hmm. Yeah, because we did try to do a Gagger and Jury of it, but
Yeah, I think it was another case of let's play this for a laugh, and then I just got stuck on a level for hours, and it was like,
Yeah, but you know that game is very charming. It's got very
it's
entertaining
so
cutscenes.
unique, yeah, the cutscenes and the music, it's just unlike anything else. It's just that weird, awkward era where they didn't quite know what to do with the technology they had just got, so it was just making these weird hodgepodge. Oh, this is kind of 2D but kind of 3D, and it's kind of sprites but kind of pre-rendered, and it's just like a big jaggy.
Not to
jaggy
mention-
mess, but-
Not to mention, it's from the creator of Echo the Dolphin, so it's got a lot of abstract themes in it.
Oh, I wasn't actually
When I
aware of that.
found out it was from
I thought it was a-
Ed Annunziata, the creator of Echo the Dolphin, I just
didn't actually
realized,
know that. Huh.
yeah, he created the game, and I
Huh.
just realized it makes so much sense.
Yeah, you know, dolphins fighting aliens, and then skeletons,
I'm not
With
saying it's
guitars.
skeletons, but it's
Yeah.
skeletons.
synergy.
From what little I saw of that game, it is hilarious.
Yeah.
It did, and I remember like 2 years ago, I think, Vinny Vinesauce streamed Mr. Bones, and I got really I really got into the game after I saw that. It was so hilarious having him react to the cutscenes.
Excellent.
But
Okay.
yeah, that's about all I've played, I guess. Other than like going into Super Smash Brothers Ultimate now and then, but I think I've talked enough about stuff I've.
Let's go next.
Would it be alright if I went
Yeah,
next?
go for it.
Because
Yeah, go ahead.
it's going to be quick. Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, like what you've done with picking up the 3DS and going into a game that you bought back 2 years ago, I'd done the same thing with Pokemon Ultra Moon.
Oh,
Oh, Ultra Moon. You know, I
Yeah.
don't have Ultra Moon or Ultra Sun yet, but
Mm.
I somehow came into a strategy guide of that game.
Well, I ended up getting that one back. I think it was when Toys R Us was shutting down.
Yeah, got it. Like,
Oh,
reduced,
yeah.
basically.
I bought a bunch of games when they were shutting down.
I think I
Yeah.
got Mario and Sonic at the Rio Olympics or something when they shut down.
I got
I-
WarioWare DIY for like £2.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
see. I
Oh.
bought Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valentia
oh, nice.
from Toys
yeah,
R
that was
Us.
a good pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's quite hard to come by.
I also
now.
bought
Mm.
Bullet Storm Full Clip Edition, Metal Gear Solid 5 Definitive Edition. I actually got what was it? Ratchet and Clank Full Frontal Assault and Sly Cooper Thieves in Time on PS3 from Toys R Us when it was shutting
Mm.
down.
Wow.
They still had them. That was the thing with Toys R Us. Like, when they
Yeah,
shut down, you
yeah, they still had
realise
some
how much
PS3
stock they had
games.
lying around for years and years because it was full price.
Yeah.
Even like 5-6 years after it came out, so it never sold, and it
Mm.
was just there all that.
They
time.
still had they still had copies of Sonic and the Black Knight for the Wii.
Wow.
Which, just as a reminder, that game
Please
came out in
just take 'em.
2009.
Please, we'll just We'll pay you to take them. Anyway,
Yeah.
Ultra Moon.
So sad. I actually haven't played the original Sun and Moon like outside of the demo, but so I gathered that Ultra Moon had like a whole bunch of bells and whistles. So 100 more Pokemon to catch than like
That one,
regular
mhm.
Sun and Moon.
Hmm.
More areas were added, and with my run, I must have put about over 100 hours into it before actually filling up the Pokédex.
Yeah, and that's within the last month, I guess.
Yeah, last month.
The last month, about 100 hours.
Yeah, yeah, I got a bit carried away, but I did manage to get. Yeah, I think it was. I'm missing one event only one,
Oh, okay.
which I don't think I'm ever going to get outside of a dodgy Wonder Trade.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's
that
what a
game
chunk of
had a
your
lot
time
of
was, isn't
event
it?
Pokemon. I used to help one of my friends. I would drive her to like a McDonald's because there used to be event Pokemon for Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon where you can only get them from the Wi-Fi at a McDonald's
Oh,
of all
Oh,
places.
God.
That's
That was Nintendo Zone.
Yeah, it was the
Ah,
Nintendo Zone.
okay.
All Nintendo zones are shut down now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're all gone.
no way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Funny enough,
Well,
Your
in North America
McDonald's
anyway. I
Pokemon
don't know
anymore.
about anywhere else in the world.
You've
Oh.
been doing,
But
a
like
lot of
around
Pokemon
here,
stuff in
nobody's
general, haven't
carrying a 3DS around anymore.
Mm.
Except
Yeah.
me.
you?
Yeah.
I think a chunk of
Funnily
that
enough.
100 hours probably.
Yeah, but
was
you're not an American.
Oh, the Wonder
the
Trading.
ones of trading, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, both the Wonder Trade and GTS are full of like sort of dodgy hacked Pokemon.
Hacked Pokemon, yeah.
But funny enough, my version of Pokemon Bank and Home picked them up as legal. So, but I'm going to keep them on my 3DS just in case, because I have heard things about what happens on Home where it like takes up space, you can't delete them.
Oh.
Yeah, and I know that with Pokemon Home, you cannot. If you transfer your Pokemon to any of the Switch Pokemon games, you
Oh
cannot
yeah,
put them back in your 3DS.
yeah,
Oh, weird.
yeah.
We're HD now. We don't want to go back. You found out something quite funny as well. You were getting like dodgy trades, weren't you? Like
Yeah.
hacked Pokemon, and you actually found a live streamer on YouTube that was doing the.
He
That
had-
actually, you actually found him, didn't you? You found the hacker on YouTube.
Or one
he
of
was
them anyway.
he was doing like 24-hour streams of just sending out hacked Pokemon to random people.
Oh.
Yeah. This
Who
is,
would watch that?
I don't know.
people that want the dodgies.
because they want the dodgies. They want the dodge.
think you got an
They want the
episode title.
dodge. They want.
The Jerry Dodgers.
Yeah.
But yeah, the stories are pretty like run of the mill. Like, you know, you play as someone who's moved into the area. You get to know what like everything around here is.
That's the Hawaii one. isn't it?
Yes,
Yes.
Alola.
Alola.
Right now, yeah. So it's spread out between like 4 different islands, and I suppose one of the things that was a bit different was that they sort of made different versions of a few older Pokemon. Like, for example, the Hanson Dugtrio.
Yeah, it's just Doug. It's just Doug
Ah,
Trio with
yes.
like little blonde wigs, and they just
Yeah.
look like Hanson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the fun.
Right. The Alolan Pokemon.
Mhm.
Some
Yeah.
of which can also be summoned in Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, we had the big egg was it the tree?
Executor.
Alolan
Yeah.
Executor.
Yeah.
Yeah, long
Oh.
Sorry,
With the long ass neck.
I'm
Yep.
Pokemon illiterate.
It's all right. You're not the
I
only
know
one here.
I know some of them.
Yeah, same here.
And no, the funniest thing about the Alone in Dugtrio as well is that he has an ability called Tangling Hair, and that like slows I think it decreases your defense or something.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it just meant like their hair gets all tangled. Helpful.
It's a debuff for the other one, by the sounds of things.
So they're throwing their wigs. They're tangling up their wigs and then throwing them at their opponent.
You?
Yeah, used mbop.
Yeah. That's definitely one of my favourite Lowlands.
Excellent.
Hansen. And then
They're all pretty sweet.
like same goes for some of the Galarian ones in Sword and Shield.
Mm,
Like it's like the My Little Pony.
Galarian Ponyta, yeah.
I still wish there was some other way for me to get the Dynamaxed Meowth.
Oh,
Because
God,
I
the
wasn't
long
able to
cat
pre-order
one.
the
Cat,
game. Yes, the long Meowth.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing.
Definitely.
He wouldn't be the first Pokemon
Memes
that's
now.
based on a meme.
Suppose not.
I mean, there was an Alolan Pokemon, I forget which one, but in his Alolan form, he has hair that makes him look like Donald Trump,
Oh,
which I'm
that,
pretty sure was
You're
unintentional.
talking about that little
Oh,
weasel
that-
looking.
that younger.
Yeah, I forget his
okay.
name.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
got Trump hair.
I actually got that through trade, like Wonder Trade. Someone actually just called it Trump and sent it to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
We could do all
Trump
kinds of
trumps the competition.
I'm always giving my Pokemon funny names, like oh god, my Starmie in Go. That's named after like an SMTV Live thing.
Yeah, a reference for absolutely nobody.
Yeah.
Even people from our generation don't even understand that reference.
Oh, it was in SMTV Live where
No.
it was a thing where Ant and Dec would dress up as like I think Ant.
A couple of twats.
I didn't have to dress up for that.
No, Ant dressed up as Gary and Dec dressed up as Misty.
All I
Oh,
remember about
God.
that is,
Oh, you
yeah,
could
they're
dress like other
they
characters.
cosplayed. Basically, there was an old UK kids Saturday morning thing
Yeah.
with these guys called Ant and Dec, and they would cosplay as Pokemon characters before an episode of Pokemon was on. And all I remember about it is they kept having this music in the background, really bloody annoying. It was like,
Oh yeah.
So they were cosplaying before everyone else was at it.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Pretty
Well,
much.
you'd be
Yeah.
surprised how long people were cosplaying.
Yeah,
I mean-
so yeah, because Gary and Misty totally were roles.
Not
Yeah.
accurate at all.
Yeah.
You didn't do their research.
Mm.
What are you doing, Ant and Dec?
Disgusting.
Yeah, and there was an episode of like those skits where Misty was going around acting like a crazed Westlife fan.
Oh.
Like,
As you
Is
do.
what fan?
As you do.
Westlife, the Irish boy band. I think they had.
Oh.
Come on,
Help,
you know.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
SMTV Live
pretending I know
Westlife.
what that is.
You know all about this stuff, Elk.
Yeah.
Oh, I know
Maybe-
everything
maybe
that
an
goes
international-
on in Irish land.
We may be an international podcast now, but we're still very, very British.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent.
Hey,
you
I'm sure you guys all
anything
know
else
about
I've
this
missed?
very American thing
Yeah.
that I've got going on here in a Genesis land.
Mm.
It's just
Mind
you and Phil Collins.
Yeah. You got the invisible watch.
Hey.
Yeah, I live in a literal land of confusion.
Hey.
Really?
Keep those
Yeah.
coming.
Oh, speaking of
Quick
music,
No,
one.
that's all.
Avoid
That's
it.
all.
speaking of music, I suppose I did it today. Actually, I've actually started firing up my copy of Just Dance 2017 on the Switch,
Hmm.
and it's given me another 90 days of limited.
Oh, that's all right then.
Oh,
Because
wow.
then you,
Oh, the
basically lets you
subscription
play.
service?
Yeah, basically
Yeah.
lets you just play a previous song from
Or
previous-
most of them
the
anyway.
previous- Yeah.
Nice.
Dance
No.
till you're dead.
And then
Hey, there's a Mario Monday for
I
you.
was having, and I was having a go at the tabletop mode just to see how well I could just play it anywhere in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
so
well, that's the whole point of the Switch.
Spectra Nice is still my favourite.
Oh, that song's so good.
Song
That's like
on
an original
that
song,
series.
isn't it? It's just like a Super Sentai song that they just threw into like a made up one. It's
Yeah.
all in Japanese, isn't it? as
Yeah,
well?
it was.
That song's brilliant. Some of the original songs in Just Dance are actually legit.
Yeah.
Like
Just Dance has a surprising amount of international songs, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, and the Christmas tree song.
Christmas tree, like a Bollywood Christmas song. That was pretty good.
Oh, that's brilliant. That one.
I believe it has Hatsune Miku's version of the Levon polka.
Yes, it has.
Yeah.
Oh,
Other than that, you've been mostly playing managing Pokemon a lot.
Yeah,
haven't you?
Pokemon.
You had your 3DS playing Sun and Moon, and then you got like a spreadsheet on your iPad, and then you've also been doing Go stuff and bank stuff on your phone.
yeah,
And then occasionally you've been playing Let's Go Eevee on your Switch as well.
yeah.
For the last
I thought
month. So
I
it's
thought
been
for a
basically-
minute I thought for a minute
Pokemon
you said she was
Mania.
managing her online banking with her phone.
Oh no, she's managing a Pokemon banking, I guess.
The Pokemon manage her bank account
And you've
for
also
her.
been watching the original Pokemon series on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's just been like non-stop Pokemon lately.
Mm.
Hey, how much of the original Pokemon is on Netflix in your area? Because
About-
over here
all
on
of it.
Netflix, we only got I think 57 episodes of the first season,
yeah,
and
it's
that's
the
not
same,
the entire first season.
We don't even
Yeah.
have the Pokemon League, so
It's the same
So
over here.
yeah,
actually.
it stops after the last episode that features I forget his name. Well, this isn't his name in the anime, but I'm pretty it's Snap, the photographer from Pokemon Snap.
oh,
Oh
He
yeah.
has a different name in
Yeah.
the anime, but I forget what it is.
I think that's where ours cuts off as well. You know, that or the Haunter episode.
Yeah, maybe we just got the same
Yeah.
plot that America did then.
Yeah, and the anime's got some weird like edits as well.
Oh yeah.
I think they tried to take out any like flashing scenes by
Yeah.
just cutting out. It just looks like it's really choppy.
Yeah.
Does it have the jelly donuts bit?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it
Yes,
does.
yes,
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah, you're watching
that
one
is
the other
brilliant.
day, and they were having. They were like, "Oh, I love this Chinese curry." It's like
And
you could have just said Japanese.
James,
Why did you change the?
James had a bowl of like noodles and he called them tea and crumpets.
What? You seriously
Yeah.
called them tea and crumpet?
Or that's some kind of like soup and noodles or something.
It's
Yeah.
just like, what? They're not allowed to say Japanese. That's the thing that doesn't make any sense to me. Why are they saying Chinese if it's Japanese, but also they don't have China or Japan because Pokemon's countries are different names?
I don't know, but like when 4Kids was
don't think they thought it
localizing
through.
Shaman King for the West, they were trying so hard to pretend that Shaman King took place in America,
Oh yeah. They
no
don't-
matter
anything
how
Full Gears was
un-American it
done.
looked. I'm surprised
Yeah,
they
there was a-
didn't.
what was
I'm
it?
surprised
In
they
one of the
didn't
Pokemon
change the
episodes you were
names
watching.
of the Japanese characters, like Yo Asakura. He was still Yo.
Oh, now he's just Yo Dude.
But Hal was Zeke for some reason.
He's Joey Wheeler.
In one of the other Pokemon episodes you were watching, there was something about someone started talking about animals, and I was just like, "But I thought Pokemon were animals. I
Yeah.
thought all animals were Pokemon. I'm confused now. Why
Yeah.
is he talking about animals?"
Mm.
I don't think they really thought
Anyway.
the doubt.
Why are people eating meat in the Pokemon world?
I mean, I don't.
when
they
the
do.
only
I mean-
animals
I
are
mean-
Pokemon.
Yeah, they were known to eat stuntlers and magic.
There's roast
outside.
chicken. There's burgers. There's what else is there?
I'm going to assume like they eat Pokemon in some.
Oh yeah. They do
Maybe
in the manga.
Maybe
very
it's all
much.
just Beyond Burger stuff. Maybe they came up with Beyond
Yeah.
Burger long before we did in the real world.
I
Mm.
don't know. Nothing wrong with a bit of crispy cider.
It's the noise it makes. It's still
Anyway.
alive.
I am going to shut up about Pokemon now and hand the button over to one of you other guys.
Okay.
I use Battle Pass and it was super effective.
The baton has been thrown into the internet.
Right,
Who's
so
going
who
next?
wants to go next?
I suppose I'll go next since.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Been playing a lot of GTA Online lately on the PC version.
It's
My
a shame you're on the
condolences.
PC.
Yeah.
What
If-
online?
It's not a shame because it's a great version. It's a shame because I don't have that. Play online.
Yeah.
Is it,
GTA
Tom,
Online.
Tom, is this the first
Oh,
podcast
GTA
in
Online.
about 4 years where you
Yeah.
haven't been playing GTA Online?
Grand Theft Auto Online.
Well, about that.
Oh, we haven't got to you. Boy.
Go on, there will be more about that, but please
Yep.
continue.
Yeah. Basically, my PC isn't. It's not old by any means, but it does struggle sometimes to get up to 60 FPS when playing
It's a-
online.
It's a bloody demanding game.
It is a
though.
demanding
It
game, yeah.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
What else? Animal Crossing, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
you don't like it.
I do like it. I like it a bit too much.
Ah,
I mean,
I'm
that's
literally
the
getting
part
Yeah. I
I'm
know
everyone
what
that
you
likes
mean.
it.
I used to have
really
that.
likes
I
it.
have that
I mean, I
issue
don't
with.
blame them, but yeah.
I have
It
that
is a very
issue with
Marmite game.
RPGs all the time. Like
Mm.
I remember
Mm.
when I played Skies of Arcadia years ago, I would spend like 8 or more hours on it at a time. The game was so
Oh, I
damn good.
know.
Yeah, but the thing with games like Scars of Arcadia is
I
So
did
Animal
that
Crossing-
with I used to play Xenoblade Chronicles that long too, as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I must have put about 100
God help
hours
me
into
when the
Xenoblade.
remaster comes out.
yeah.
Oh, and you know what? I do that with the Yakuza games as well.
Mm.
Not the only one there.
yeah.
Yeah, but I've been looking on
Oh.
playing. You know, once it hits 10 days, you can see how many hours they've put in,
Mm.
and
Mhm.
almost all of them were in 3 digits.
Oh dear.
It's like, 100 hours, 125 hours, 60 hours, 175 hours.
Orson Welles
people like
used to
this.
write. I mean, not Orson Welles. I read a story
That's a
like
tangent.
this in when I was in college that
Oh, that-
warned about this sort of thing happening.
Oh, is that
It wasn't-
It's not Orson Scott Card, is it?
I don't remember. There was this story I read. I had to read in college, and I went to art college, so I had to illustrate some paintings that show stuff in the book, but I can't remember what it's called. But it was a story about how this family had this virtual reality room where their kids spend so much time in it, where they pretend they're in
I know.
the they're in Africa, right?
The Illustrated Man by Ray Bradbury.
That's it. Ray Bradbury.
Fahrenheit 451.
Yeah,
Barry.
Ray Bradbury used to write
So what
stories
you're saying
about
is
this sort
that
of
is
thing
Animal
Yes,
Animal Crossing is
yes.
just
Except in this story, the parents wind up trapped in that virtual reality room, and they get devoured by lions.
As you do.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for that to happen in Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
Everyone's
I,
characters just
um,
randomly get eaten by.
Yeah, I was listening to that book on audiobook like sometime last year.
Yeah, you will, won't you?
Yeah.
It sure was interesting.
Right.
Yeah, I quite like Ray Bradbury novels.
So how many
Anyway,
hours you
Andrew's
reckon
been
you
playing Animal Crossing?
Yeah.
I know I've plowed like 100 plus hours into it already, but it's just the fact that I'm getting up at like 5:30 in the morning when their day
Wow.
starts, as it were. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
because everything's done in real time.
You have
Yeah,
an
of course,
excuse, though.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
all good.
Yeah, exactly. Nintendo could not have timed
It's almost like they planned it.
Boom, boom.
Oh,
conspiracies.
It's almost like
They
they
invented 5G.
it's almost like they plan to have it released the same day as Doom Eternal.
Well,
so
it's
everyone
like
can do all
Nintendo
that.
and id Software teamed up on this whole thing. Hence all the crossover stuff.
Yeah,
Just saying.
No, but they couldn't have timed Animal Crossing's release.
It was such
They
it was like
released it a
once in a
couple weeks
lifetime
later.
timing on this whole thing.
See, I have a question about Animal Crossing, the new one, because my problem with Animal Crossing
Mhm.
and I've said this before, is you are limited on how much you can do. I'm one of those people who likes to sink a lot of time into a game all at once, as opposed to playing a little bit at a time over a long period. Is that still true of Animal Crossing? Because when I've played it, it's like you can play for about an hour, then you kind of have to leave it till tomorrow to play some more.
Pretty much. I mean, like they have tried to like mix it up a bit. The turnip prices where you can only buy it on a Sunday, and it all depends like how much the shop is selling it for later on in the week. But you got a pre-afternoon price and then post-afternoon price, so that's that bit mixed up a bit.
I've got a question about Animal Crossing.
Go on.
It's just capitalism, isn't it?
Yes.
The whole game seems to be about buying and selling shit.
And there's no end.
Everyone has been chatting about it, saying, "Oh,
Yeah, it's all
some
about
cherries and all this."
and it's
stuff.
about
like,
mindless
I can get
collecting
this
too.
each day. And...
The amassing of wealth.
yeah, basically.
And then when you
Everything
take
else
too
is
long
like
to play
buy.
pay back your debt, Tom Nook eats you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like that book.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what,
Oh dear.
I've seen some really cool, how you can t-shirts, floor panels and stuff like that. I saw one where someone made a Japanese arcade as their room, and it was just full of candy cabs. I was like,
I've seen that too.
really
That looks so cool.
That's what I'm
cool
working
if
up to.
So it's just like
It'd be cooler if you could play all those games, but at the same time, there are so many classic arcade games on the Nintendo eShop. There are so many of
It'd be
them.
great if you could boot
It's
up like
staggering.
the
Back to the
hamster
candy
games
cab.
from them.
Oh yeah, just have it so you click on play,
Yeah,
and it just boots up the.
Yeah, that would
Boots up
certainly
Twinbee or
make it
something.
better.
You know what would make Animal Crossing better? If you could just go into it and
If
play
it was just
something else.
Twinbee.
If it was just Twinbee.
You know what would be
Yeah.
better? You know what would make it better? If they replaced the entire Nintendo Switch menu with just Animal Crossing. And then all your games, all your Switch games, they're in your house. Or well, I guess you don't always have a house
That'd
in the
be-
game, but you
That would be
place
much
them
more
wherever.
intuitive than just a bunch of.
It's like Sonic Jam, then, isn't it? Basically,
Yeah.
what you're
Yeah,
saying is you wish
yeah.
the Sonic the Switch
It's like
was Sonic
Sonic
Jam.
World and Sonic Jam, except
Yeah, but
customizable.
you didn't have to go into the Sonic world to actually play the games. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Oh, but yeah, you couldn't select the games from Sonic World, right? You can go into that theater, but you can't. You don't actually select the games from.
no, that was a separate thing. But yeah, got any like funny little stories or anything about Animal Crossing? Now? Like weird stuff that happened?
not
I don't know.
so far. I
Don't
mean,
know enough about it to really.
yeah.
Just...
How can I put it? No, it's great when it's online. Like you get people coming to your island, as it were,
Oh yeah,
and it
Is
actually does
that new?
departure board.
Oh yeah.
It was in the previous version, but not done in this sort of way.
Yeah, I've seen
But-
I've seen like videos of like 6 people just like running around each other's places and stuff. Well, that's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
it's actually the first time that's happened where you can actually go to
That's pretty
someone's
cool.
island. Yeah,
Oh wow.
and it is quite amusing, like the departure board, as it were, as people are coming into your game.
That
Yeah.
guy at the airport thing, he looks just like
Orville.
Orville, yeah. And he's actually
That's who he
what was his name
reminded
again?
me
Was it
of.
actually
Orville.
Oh
Orville.
boy.
I'm pretty sure that was actually his name as well, isn't it? In the game? Or was it something else?
Something
Not
else.
sure.
Maybe I saw a Photoshop or something. I don't know. It was like that bird looks like Orville and is called Orville. Maybe it was a
Oh
Photoshop.
yes, yeah, you're right. But the
Oh, he's
Orville
actually
in
called Orville.
Orville in Animal Crossing is blue, but Orville over here is green. So
Yeah, but it's
it's
still
slight
like
variance,
Orville.
but yeah. But the way he just types on his keyboard, it's all as if his life is dependent on it. He's sweating. He's like panicking for no reason, even though it's the same thing he types every time. But
Maybe he's just
yeah.
not very good at his job.
Yeah. Oh dear, what else have I been playing? I have been playing a certain. It was basically a cheap game on Steam ages ago. Learn Japanese to survive.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
I've
Oh.
dabbled with that a little bit.
Oh, learn Japanese to survive.
Yeah.
Mm.
I recently got this game on Steam, actually.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, it was only a few pennies, so I went for it. And I'm sure
I-
we'll come to the reason why we're going to use that a bit later.
Yeah,
But-
hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
Yeah,
I hope it really helps with your Japanese studies.
Mhm.
I'm-
It's working so far, I'd say.
Yeah.
I'm just going to need to be a bit more.
Write down all
Yeah, right. I'm planning to have that supplement my own Japanese study. Right now, I'm studying through Duolingo on my phone.
Oh,
I did
yeah.
that.
Yeah. I've abandoned that for about
Ow,
2
that
weeks now.
nags you.
Speaking of, one of you remind me to take my Japanese lesson today because later on because I haven't done it yet,
Okay.
and I have a really hard time remembering to do it.
Hey,
Duolingo likes to remind me all the bloody
Elk.
time when I haven't
Elk.
gone on it.
Duolingo is
lesson.
going to eat me if I skip out of my lessons
Yeah.
too long.
Mm.
What was you going to say about Japanese survive thing?
Yeah, basically just learning as I go along and making sure I'm taking notes in my notebook here.
It's
So
essentially an RPG, isn't it?
It's RPG
Yeah.
Maker.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
So,
Basically,
Yeah,
I don't know-
something like
I'll-
that.
Yeah.
Did
but-
you get all 3 versions of it? Because
Yeah.
there's one for
Yeah.
katakana, there's one for hiragana, and there's one for kanji.
Yeah, it all comes as a bundle, including all the DLC for it as well.
Oh yeah, I got the bundle too.
You can learn this bit of Japanese, but only if you pay extra for it.
Oh, yeah. The Hiragana one was the one I got.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's the first one.
Yeah, because the other two weren't out yet when I was playing the first one.
You were into it before; it was cool.
Hey.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about it when it came out until all
It's simple
3
and
of them were
elegant,
available.
isn't it? Where it's like the enemies are the katakana or hiragana, and you have to attack them with the right English word
Oh,
Mhm.
nice.
to do
Yeah.
damage to them.
Oh, that's cool.
Really cool.
Yeah,
Mm.
and eventually, as you go through the game, you will need to know things like the shops will suddenly slowly turn to Japanese and things like that. So you will actually have to have learnt it to be able to operate the shops eventually.
Oh, wow.
Ah.
So
Yeah, that is pretty cool. From
Yeah.
the sound.
I say
Really
it clearly
wish
is an
more
RPG
games
Maker
would
game.
Do this, like,
Yeah.
turn education. You know,
Mm.
like take something you already know, like an make it actually a beneficial learning thing as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, you know, it's a good idea. Like RPG is pretty good format for that kind of
It
thing.
must be quite a complicated game to make, though, because not only are you trying to RPG, trying to make something that's actually educational, and
Hmm.
you probably have to do a lot of playtesting to make a game like
Yeah.
make it actually
Viable.
beneficial.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably why there hasn't been that many games like that. But
Yeah.
I hope that people make more games like that. Basically,
Mm.
they
Yeah.
need to make a shmup that teaches you Japanese, then I'll play it.
It's
Well,
like
the thing is,
Ikaruga, but for
There is
Japanese.
Yeah.
there is a Nintendo Switch game that I have.
Mhm.
I forget the name of it, but there's a rhythm kana game.
Hiragana
Oh,
Pixel Party.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
Hiragana Pixel Party. I have that one as well.
Yeah.
That
I-
one is a lot more difficult though because you're supposed to press the correct button for the kana at the beat of the music,
Mhm.
but they keep switching up whichever kana is on which button.
Yeah.
So it's way
I've
too
found
easy
that
for you
problem
to
as well.
mess up.
Hmm.
Yeah, I want to like that game, but that
Mhm.
makes it a little
Sounds like
too
a
much
bit of a
for
pain.
me.
Maybe at like a higher level type thing.
Yeah, you do basically need both good like reactions to like say not like a normal rhythm game, and then you had to learn another language on top of that, so it does get a bit overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah, which would be fine because I'm really good with rhythm games. So far, Rhythm Thief is no trouble for me at all.
Mhm.
It's just
You
that.
said you were stuck in it earlier.
Well, no. It's
Apologies.
the problem is that when you're playing a song in that game, they don't keep each kana that you're supposed to press on the same button throughout the
Ah.
entire song. They keep
Yeah.
switching it up.
Hmm.
So there's an icon on the corner of the screen with the buttons, and it shows you which kana is on each button, and you have to pay attention to it, so
Yeah, I guess
you
that's
know
their way
which
of
button
trying
you're
to get
supposed to
you-
press.
Yeah,
And they
that's
keep
probably their way
they
of
don't
trying to
keep
teach you it.
they don't keep each kana on the same button the whole time. So like if you're not too familiar with each kana yet, you're going to have a hard time keeping track of which ones you're supposed which kana you have to remember, and when you have to press it, and which button is supposed to be the correct one that you press.
Yeah,
So it's a little overwhelming.
yeah, I can imagine.
So, anything else you've been playing, Andrew?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm completely lost track of it. Now, I've also got another Japanese teaching game on my Switch, Draco's Whole of Kanji.
Yeah,
But
That one I've never heard of.
yeah,
I've seen it on the eShop, but I didn't really.
yeah.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, it does involve taking like the Switch out of its dock and having to draw stuff on the screen, which I hadn't done yet. So that'll be another little thing to do when I get around to it.
Yeah, that's another aspect of it that gets overlooked. You have to know how to draw each kana or each kan.
Yeah.
So there. So that's what I've been playing.
Excellent.
All right. Who
Right,
wants to
guess
go
I'll-
next?
I guess I'll go
Well-
next. I've mostly, to be honest, ever since like the sort of the lockdown stuff, I've mostly been drawing. But in terms of games, like I've mostly been playing Asphalt 9 Legends.
Oh yeah, I've
Mhm.
seen you
Playing that.
playing that.
Yeah, you've probably seen
Yeah, I
it.
think you mentioned this.
I'm pretty
before.
much on it for about 15 to 30 minutes every day for the last few months, probably, because it's one of those free-to-play games where they give you daily challenges to do, and you basically just want to drill through all of those, like playing free online, playing certain things, unlocking certain things. And yeah, it's a free-to-play racing game. It's really scratching a burnout for me, I've got to say. It's got like online playing in it, and it's got all like real cars in it, but you have to like slowly unlock them with like blueprints, which is basically but they show you kind of what you're getting. But yeah, it's a bit of a slog trying to get the cards to unlock other cards. But one thing that happened, I think it was last week or something, is they did the whole due to the current situation, they went, here's some free cars. I was like, oh, cheers. It's like, here's
Nice.
a S-rated car. I was like, okay. That's all right. Yeah, just have some free stuff. Yeah, these cars that would probably take you 100 hours to grind for, or probably pay £70 for. Yeah, it's like, yep, okay, I'll take that very nicely. And they
That's
also
one of the silver linings of this whole situation. You get so many free video games because everyone's trying so desperately to convince people to stay indoors.
Yeah, exactly. So I think they also did a really big push for the game recently, where they added a new what was it, Caribbean level, which is pretty cool because it looks like a Sega arcade racing game because you're driving around the beach and roller coasters flying around you and airplanes flying over your head.
Oh, that sounds so sweet.
It's like Sega arcade sort of aesthetic to it, which is quite nice. Yeah, pretty ridiculous game, not realistic slides. It's based on a mobile game.
Blue skies, I see.
You wouldn't think it looking at it. It's quite a nice looking game. Yeah, very Burnout or Cruising USA style. You can do like this silly flip thing where you smash other cars up and get on the ramps and spin in the air like 2 miles up in the air. One thing I found out the other day is sometimes there's like police helicopters flying around in the sky, and I actually hit a ramp and went up so high I actually hit the helicopter. I was like, I didn't expect that to actually have collision. I just smashed into this helicopter and just knocked it into the floor. Like, wow, they actually bothered to put collision.
That's funny because you mentioned it's like Cruisin'. I've played Cruisin' Blast before.
Yeah,
a recent arcade game, and there's a lot of points in that game where either you crash into stuff and you go right through it, or there's times where you could potentially crash into something, but everything's scripted, so everything gets out of the way before you reach it.
Yeah, we actually played that.
Oh yes, that was fun.
Channel. Yeah, that is a really fun game, but I think the only problem, pretty much just like a straight line with slight curves in it.
Yeah.
wasn't it? Like when you
Yeah.
actually take all the window dressing away, it was pretty much you're driving in a straight line.
Yeah, it really wasn't a
But,
skill-based game, was it?
No, not in the slightest.
There
I
was
feel
a-
like
I know in
Asphalt
Asphalt,
definitely has a
I've
bit more
seen
depth
some
to it than that.
gameplay of Asphalt 9. There's a lot of moments where your car spins around and it just seems to defy physics and continue moving
definitely,
forward.
yeah. As I say, you can pretty much just fly in the sky for ages with it. And
Yeah, Cruisin' also has a lot of moments where you spin your car around, and even Cruisin' doesn't do that.
yeah,
There was
what's quite funny about Asphalt as well is like it's the 9th game in the series, and it's been around since since mobile games started, and I think there was a few DS games.
Oh,
But I never would
Yeah,
have
it's been
thought
around
I
a
would-
long time.
I never thought in all my years, in all my days, that I would end up getting addicted to a Gameloft game. Like they were always known as like the cheapo mobile game company, just made like
They're always known.
cheapo games.
They were
But they
always
seem to have
known
gotten
for
really good now.
ripping off other games. So, like,
Pretty
for the
much,
longest
yeah.
time, they also had their own Call of Duty game
Yeah, in
and
a
their
way.
own They had their own GTA San Andreas game too.
Like knockoff games, yeah. But I feel like with this one in particular, I feel like they finally like made a legit game. Like I think in total in the last year or so, I've put about 60 hours into it. So it's actually topped. It's gone past Tetris 99 now. It's
Oh,
one of my
bloody
most played games on the system at this point. I think just from all the like going back to it each day, slowly unlocking stuff and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
I guess they
So
came up with
I guess that's
something
what I've-
special when it comes to Asphalt.
Yeah, I just feel like they've done a really good job with this one. Plus, because it's like a Switch version of it, it's got like normal controls and touch controls. There is an option on it to play it with touch controls, but there's no reason to. I much prefer actually being able to, accelerate myself with buttons, and actually turn myself because I
doesn't?
tried the touch controls much. Button for smashing into people and a button for doing this and that. That's not how you play race. It was like a racing game. You press buttons to do things. It was like, no. This is silly.
Dude, this is the
Um,
Nintendo Switch. This is not an iPad. We don't need the touch controls anymore.
I guess
unless
they just
we
put them there because
somehow
the
lose
code was
both our
probably already
Joy-Cons
there.
and we don't,
They just
or unless your Joy-Cons are drifting like crazy.
Yeah, like mine are at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got Joy-Con drifting.
I
That-
fixed that by spraying
on
contact
my-
cleaner under there.
Yeah, I need
No,
to.
it's
Get some
So
proper
far,
contact
I've
thing.
never had a drifting issue with my Joy-Con,
This is my.
but I'm
second
so
Joy-Con
afraid
to
it's going to happen to me one day.
My right
Yeah.
Joy-Con has been through the wars. I've had drifting, which I fixed. The light went, and I still haven't fixed that. And then the R button broke, and I took it apart and managed to fix that.
Yeah,
But,
my
It's
The
hate on my
worst
friend.
thing-
L button broke the other day as well.
The
but
worst
unfortunately-
thing that's ever happened to my Switch was I lost the kickstand, and then months later I found it.
Don't know how you
I
lose
lost
the
that thing.
kickstand.
I mean,
It's not
like
supposed
the
to come off.
flimsiest- I mean,
It
it's the
can-
flimsiest piece.
The kickstand actually does come off easily and is perfectly
I found on my
reattachable.
previous
Oh.
Switch, it came off far too easily. You literally tried to stand it up and it
It is very, very crappy, isn't it? It's really thin
it's
plastic.
awful.
It's very cheap. That's why
think-
they have
Separate-
that's why they also have those stands
Yeah,
that
I
you can
bought-
buy
I've got
separately.
Yeah.
I mean, I got one of those flip grips. They're great.
I got one of those too. I
basically, the
completely
Joy-Con
forgot
drift on
about it.
Basically, the Joy-Con drift on mine now in Asphalt 9 randomly makes me just drive into walls.
Yeah.
Like I just be driving along and it just go bang right into a wall. It's just like, yeah, cheers.
Oh my
Thanks for
God.
that. But basically, it's the up direction on my left stick now. But for
Hmm.
some reason, it's like up and left a bit. So yeah, when I'm driving along, it would just randomly just go, "Oh, you're going into the sea now." It's just like, just into
I mean,
the sea.
Not the
I-
type
I-
of drifting I intended to do.
Yeah, exactly.
I would have just bought another Joy-Con as expensive as they were.
That's kind of what I'm thinking of resorting to at
but-
this point. But
But I've looked; they're sold out bloody everywhere.
yes,
because
that's
everyone's
fair.
at
You can't
home
buy
at the
anything.
moment.
Yeah,
you can't
yeah.
buy
You know what?
anything right now.
Wii
Even though the
remotes are
consoles insane now.
Wii remotes are sold out now too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually going to go into stuff.
Sit-
when we get to the news bit.
Resale for Nintendo Wii stuff is through the roof right
Yeah,
now.
like Wii
It's
Sports and Wii Fit, it's
absolutely
all
bonkers.
If you've got loads of old pound shop copies of like Wii Fit knocking around, you could probably make some money right now.
Yeah.
I'll
It
get
goes
all these CX for 20. Now I can
Yeah, I
get
don't know. Yeah,
six
it's
quid for 'em.
weird. Something
Ooh.
about this virus is making everyone is reminding every. Oh wait, remember the Wii? I remember the Wii.
It's like indoors.
We don't have our Wii anymore. I want to get a Wii. We gotta
My
go get a.
parents actually.
We gotta go buy a Wii. We gotta get
back
Wii
up, yeah,
Sports.
before the-
People
No,
playing
my dad's actually been playing Wii Fit again.
that.
Yeah, we've been doing it as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like it's like how all these companies are giving people video games to keep them inside. But someone else was like, "Hey, let's give you all these member berries from South Park that'll remind you about the Wii for no real
Yeah.
reason whatsoever."
Oh, but you can forget trying to get Ring Fit Adventure.
Oh yeah, that's been sold out since November.
I really wish I could have got that when it was
Oh,
I know.
man. Ring
Like,
Fit.
wait till it's a bit cheaper. It's like, nope.
It does
That's
look
never
really good.
happening.
It does, yeah.
brilliant.
It
Like,
is
I
really good, and
wanna get-
especially
if I get
now
it, I
that,
want to live stream it.
and especially when Nintendo just so happened to put out that music mode update.
Yeah.
that update they announced was really good as well.
That was
It does.
some more masterful timing, which only really benefits anybody who already has Ring Fit Adventure.
Well, yeah, it's like
Yeah.
here's some free extra content for this game you can't buy. It's happening again. Nintendo in their low stock, and in this case,
Oh,
they
it
can't.
drives me.
In
it
this
just-
case, they can't.
yeah.
And it certainly doesn't help that China is importing the game from the
that was
Western
the first
countries.
signs of it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Japan.
believe that's where it all
People
started.
selling out
Yeah.
in America because people in China were importing it to China.
And
I
it's
think-
hard.
that's
I
what
think
it was.
Nintendo's only officially released like 3 Switch games in China so far.
Yeah, because it only
I don't
launched
know what they
officially.
were, but apparently neither of them were Ring Fit Adventure.
Yeah, so they've been importing wild copies.
Well,
it's like
yeah.
Shenmue 2.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those situations where China makes all of like the production of things. So now when that ground to hold, like the PC Engine Mini, that was just about
Yeah,
to ship,
exactly.
Yeah.
and they were like, "Oh, we
It's
can't
a
do that
combination
because the
of
factory."
I
high
was
demand because
so
everyone-
mad when I found
and
that
the
out.
manufacturers can't make as much.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Damn.
So in terms of other games I've been playing, Nintendo Online did thing. They did another one of those game trials. Last year they did where you could play Mario Tennis Aces for about a week.
they
and,
did ARMS.
In the last, ARMS.
I know what
So
you're
I've
about to
basically
talk
been-
about.
Yeah, I've been playing ARMS for the last 10 days. I think it expires tonight. I think it was just available for about 11 days, which I think I managed to
Yeah.
get about 5 hours into it. Yeah, I actually really like it. I just don't think I could justify paying the price it still is 3 years later. It's still 40 quid everywhere.
I
And
know.
there's not enough
I
content
know.
there to justify the price. But it is, especially online, it kind of makes me want to get it. But I don't full whack for it. But if I can,
Yeah,
get it,
that's
I'll
why
get
I
it.
usually
Online is
don't
fast.
buy. That's why I usually don't buy first-party Nintendo Switch games until Black Friday, because
Yeah.
they
Or
almost
10
never
years down the low.
they almost go on never go on sale, and no matter how many years go by since its release, they don't drop the
Exactly.
price even by $10.
No,
It used
yeah,
it used
I
to
think
be that as
The only
you could,
time that ever happens is if a game completely bombs, like Metroid M or that Animal
Yeah.
Crossing.
Well,
puzzle-
the Zelda
that
Zelda
Animal
game,
Crossing game on the Wii U. That
Well,
was
Zelda-
a pound shop at one point.
Zelda sometimes would drop. Usually, like it used to be like you.
sometimes,
Yeah,
the
but
odd
no,
one.
Breath of the Wild has just been clinging on to that price.
Yeah.
because it's still
Yeah,
one of the best-selling games on the
usually it's
systems,
stuff
and
like
Bob and
Kirby Star Allies or Donkey Kong Country Tropical
Tropical- yeah, they're still
Freeze,
full
which
whack.
goes down in price. It's the
Fat chance
games
for Tropical
that
Freeze, though.
it's the
Yes,
games
Sushi
that
Strike
don't
is
really
good,
set the
that's
world on fire. But if it's
Yeah.
Super Mario Odyssey, forget it.
I was
Yeah.
quite chuffed with Sushi Striker only being a tenner. That game's actually brilliant. That's a
Oh
first-party
yeah,
game.
I forgot about Sushi Striker.
Yeah, everyone has. That's why it's a tenner.
Yeah,
That game is
yeah.
actually quite good though. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of ARMS, especially online. They were doing one of those party crash things, which is kind of like the thing they used to do in Splatoon 2. where you
Yeah,
just
the
pick a side.
the party crashes. I took part in a lot of those. It was a lot of fun.
Do you own that game then, or?
Yeah, I've owned it for quite some time.
Yeah, I've
It's a
wanted to
very
get it.
underrated game.
Get it now, but as I say, like it's just never down to justify it. But so I'm really glad they put out like this free version of it for a while. So I basically got my fix of it for a while.
Yeah, you got your fill.
Yeah, I got my feel of it for the time being, but I would like to eventually get it. But I'm not
I can't wait to
really.
see how many people start buying the game after that ARMS character is added to Super Smash Brothers, whichever one it's
Yeah, I'm
going.
really curious who it's going to end up being now.
Mhm.
I didn't even get around to playing as every game.
So far, I'm
Consider my
predicting it's
names.
not going to be one of the characters that's already in the game as a spirit,
Yeah,
which
probably
are
not.
Springman, Ribbon Girl, Ninjara, Twintel, and Min Min.
What, they're all
But
in
you
there?
know what?
I thought
they
it
don't-
was just Springman and Ribbon Girl that reps it.
No. Twintel, Min Min, and Ninjara are also spirits in the game.
Well,
But
who
you know
knows?
what? Most of these rules for characters are just rules that fans made up. We
They
don't know
decided,
how
yeah.
Sakurai does his. So really, anything can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be that little commentator. It's going to be him.
If
Yeah, Biff. It's just like a little minion-looking thing, and he's just got like a hand, like a fist on his
Ooh.
head.
Bunny,
And he's
bunny,
sounds like a
bunny.
trapdoor creature. So it goes,
Bunny. Bunny.
Yeah, he does that. It sounds like it's from the trapdoor.
I like
had a lot of
that.
fun with that.
I like that stamp weapon that covers your opponent's screen in just stamps of Biff's face.
Oh, I don't think I even saw that when I played it.
Yeah, that's one of the ARMS weapons that you can obtain in the game.
Yeah, I did manage to get quite the extra arms, but obviously I only managed to put in about 5 hours, so I didn't get to.
Yeah, well, there's a lot. That's one of my
Yeah.
top 5 most played ARMS games according to Nintendo, and I still have a lot more to unlock.
One of your most played ARMS games is ARMS.
Yes, well, it's one of those games that I spend the most time playing with my arms. Most other games, I play them with my feet or I play them with my teeth.
Sure. Right.
What I
Nice
meant to
save.
say is it's one of my top 5 most played Switch games.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I can imagine if I did actually. I'm pretty free.
Yeah,
It is a lot of fun. There's a
when
lot
I
of
checked my
depth
top
to it.
5 most played games of last year on Switch, Nintendo would actually tell you what this was at the end of last year. My top 5 games were actually ARMS, Smash Brothers Ultimate, Splatoon 2, Team Sonic Racing, and Road Redemption, surprisingly.
Oh wow! I just keep a spreadsheet because I'm a. I actually keep track of everything I've been playing on the thing because it sort of gives you a rough idea, doesn't it, by hours and that. But
Yeah, I guess.
update
I
that.
never thought
I
to
just
do
update
that.
that on the spreadsheet all the time, and it's like, oh, that's gone up as
Oh,
place
you
and
use
stuff
the
like that.
parental control as well. didn't
Oh
you?
yeah, the parental app's really good for keeping track of times on games as well. Like it actually tells you by the minutes on there, so that's pretty cool. I don't.
What,
really
the
buy minutes.
parental controls app?
Yeah,
Mhm.
basically, if you use that and sync to your Switch, you can actually just have a look at the exact amount of time you spent on games.
Oh,
every day,
really?
and then it shows
I
you
didn't
how
know
much
that.
you played on the month. Yeah, so if you set that up on your Switch and your phone, you can basically just track how much you play games. Pretty good. I guess it was sort of in this month as well. In the last few weeks, I also played a game called Polyroll. I actually featured this last year on that Sage live stream because it was actually a demo at Sage last year, the Sonic Fan Games Expo. It's like an original game that's sort of Sonic inspired, and it actually came out over here. And the developer actually sent me a Steam code for it. It's
Hey.
really cool. And
What did you say
I
this
like,
game was called?
Polyroll. It's like Polygon, but Polyroll.
Polyroll? I don't
Yeah.
remember this one from
Yeah,
Sage.
it was a demo last year. Or was it the? Oh no, wait. I think it was. Yeah. Or was it the year before? It might have been the year before actually. When I did the first Sage stream that I did, basically just after we moved into this house. I
Oh,
think. It
yeah.
was the first stream I did in this house. But I liked it so much. It came out for sale for about £3 on the Switch, so I ended up buying it on there anyway. I was like, I got a free copy on Steam, but I ended up buying it anyway on the because I wanted to have it there as well. And yeah, I ended up 100% in it in the end. It's a very Amiga style platformer. It feels
Yeah, I can
like
see
kind
that.
of. It feels like a Sonic clone from Amiga. I mean that in all the best ways. Like the soundtrack's very Amiga, and the other thing about it is it kind of feels like, you know how the 8-bit Sonic games played, where it was like it wasn't as much about speed. It was a bit
Platformy.
Yeah.
more platformy. It feels like a Sonic Mania, the 8-bit Sonic game.
Oh.
Yeah, in a way, in a sort of.
I see what you're
feels like
getting at.
It feels like a 16-bit version of an 8-bit Sonic.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel exactly. It is considerably slower. It does have a.
So what you're saying is it's Zool.
Huh? No, it's definitely not. It's not a sloppy, slippery pain in the ass like Saw is. But yeah, I managed to 100% that one. These gems you got.
I'm actually
the shields are really
looking up all the games from Sage last year, and there's a lot of games that I forgot.
I really like that Sonic fan game developers are starting to make original. Actually, starting up. That's really inspiring. Actually, that these people that made Sonic fan games, not only Mania.
They're getting a
Stuff like
lot
Freaking
more creative than they used to. And
I mean,
meanwhile, people are just putting other characters with Streets of Rage 2. People are just putting every character in existence into the game.
Oh, the ROM hacks, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think most recently I saw one with the River City Girls characters.
Yeah, I saw that one. My favourite one had to be that Ren. Just so poorly animated. It's like they just took the sprites from the Mega Drive game, but they
The Ren and Stimpy one?
Yeah, it's this Ren and Stimpy in Streets of Rage 2. I think I played it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
I remember that one. That looks
like,
so weird.
The sprites are just like smacking all over the face. But yeah, Polyroll's fantastic. If you can get it on sale, definitely, especially if you like sort of Amiga style platformers, but once that makes sense. I'll have to, once I get my Amiga, actually start streaming.
All right, I just looked up this Polyroll game. This really does remind me of something I would have expected from the Amiga.
Yeah, it's definitely got. One thing I really like about it is the shield in it. It's like a shield that you can buy. I think there's now. Oh, there's one that lets you just drop bombs, and it's just like bombs flying around your head. And as you're jumping along, you can just rain bomb things. And most of the shields do actually.
Sadly, this game also kind of reminds me of Zool a bit, but I'm sure it's a much better game than Zool.
Yeah, I think you have had a few moments of cutting out, Aaron.
Oh, sorry. I don't know how
Am
much.
I cutting out as well?
Well, you will be. Because it's the same thing.
Not at the
It's all right now. It's all right at the
Yeah.
moment.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you heard what I was saying, but basically, like the shields, like what they do in the levels, kind of like lets you opens up like.
Oh.
Yeah, it's hard to really explain what's good about it. It just feels really good. It's thick, nice.
Getting the cut.
Gimmicks to it. I think there's one level where you go up in secret, it just turns into a out clone, just for like a little area. That was really cute. You know, like how Sonic games. This one had any breakout section.
You're starting to cut out a lot more, actually.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
Must be because we're streaming at the same time.
Oh no!
How frequent?
It seems to be getting a bit worse.
Do you think we should I should just chat and then back in? Or?
Try that.
You could try that.
Maybe.
Yeah, all right.
We could go on to what you've been playing, Ari Curry, if you like.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
I mean, that's basically what I've been playing, mostly ARMS and Asphalt, and then also Polyroll earlier in the month. So
You're not cutting out anymore.
No, yeah, it's
that's
all good now.
Oh, cool.
Yes, you're coming in much better now. I think that worked.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's basically what I've been playing.
Excellent. Definitely worth a look up Polyroll.
I'm
keep saying
totally
will.
gonna wish list polyroll.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd actually like to actually like to maybe even do like a let's play of that or something at some point, just to show it off a bit. There were a couple levels in it where there's like these bonus levels that got like a time limit to them, and when you get to the end of them, it gives you like an extra heart because it's like a heart-based health system where you like. I think you start with like 3 hearts and you can gain the extra hearts from these levels. Those levels are a pain in the ass. You know, speaking of 8-bit Sonic, you know the bonus stages in the first one where you got like all the springs everywhere and all
Yep.
those sort
Yeah.
of things that
I
look like
saw-
twisters.
Mhm.
I saw some levels in polyroll that made me think of that when I was looking it up just
There
now.
are levels. Yeah, the bonus levels are basically that special stage from Sonic 1 8-bit, but with bottomless pits everywhere. They were a pain in the ass. It was hard, and the time limit's so strict on them as well. But other than that, I found the game really pleasant. Like all the level designs are really creative, and like just the whole aesthetic of it was really, really pleasant. So yeah, I think it's just Murray Curry now on what we've been playing.
Okay.
Here we go.
Crack
So
skills.
much Yakuza. My good God. So, yeah, as I said, I played the game a couple of years ago, the first one on PS2. Shell Gamer lent it to me. It must have been, 2-3 years ago now?
Oh yeah, about that.
Yeah. And it's always been a game that's been on my radar forever, but I just never got around to playing it, basically. And I always knew that when I started it, because of everything I've seen of it, I knew it would be my next favourite thing. So I guess in a funny way, maybe I wasn't playing it because I knew this would be my new obsession. So yeah, I played through the PS2 game, really liked it. Like, I had nothing really bad to say about it. And then several years later, that was it. That was my only exposure. And then it was last Christmas, not the one just gone, the one before it. So 2018 to 2019. I was given 0 for a Christmas present, and that was it. As soon as I got to 0, I mean that is still my favourite game in the series, 0, and I've played most of them now.
0 is without a doubt one of the best games in the entire series,
Yeah,
and a
it really
perfect
is.
starting point for newer fans.
Absolutely, yeah.
If I do eventually get myself a PS4, that's going to be one of the first games I buy, definitely.
Honestly, I mean, it is the best Yakuza game, and I've played through most of them now. Sorry, go on.
No, it's just the fact that we have them all collected on one console now as well.
Well, that's the thing, yeah.
Oh yeah, and that includes the spin-offs like Judgment and Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise.
Absolutely.
The ones not on there now are those ones that were set in like feudal Japan.
And Dead Souls as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot. We don't have those. We don't have Dead Souls.
We got it here. I've currently borrowed it off Shell Gamer.
Yeah, just we don't have Dead Souls on PS4.
Oh, 4, sorry, yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
So yeah,
pretty sure the Ishin and Kenzan are going to get re-released before Dead Souls.
I hope they do. I really do.
I do.
I want to try those so bad. So yeah, basically all throughout January last year and most of February, I was just sinking my time into 0 because 0 is huge. There's so much to do in that game. But I just kept, even when I was finished with it, I just had to get more. So I ended up getting Kiwami 1 and 2, and I also bought 6. But I still, to this day, haven't played it because I want to play through the rest of the series. So I went through Kiwami and Kiwami 2, and I just waited because we didn't get the confirmation of this remastered collection for ages. I was just thinking, are we going to get them? Because I heard that they were out in Japan because they were doing them.
They came out as separate releases, didn't they?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
So I waited, and then eventually this, and I waited for the physical version of that, which I got earlier this year. Thanks, Shell Gamer, by the way, for helping me secure that pre-order. And it's a lovely little box. I don't know if you've seen the actual box.
Yeah, I have the remastered. I have the physical
like
remastered trilogy as well. It looks really.
Yeah, that's what they have. Yeah, for the physical box for 5.
Because it only came out digitally over here on
the
PS3.
Yes,
we'll give you a box for the PS3 version, just so you can have a box to go with the rest of them.
Yeah.
And you want to know what's a funny thing I've noticed? the remastered version of Yakuza 5 on the PlayStation Store.
Yeah.
The PlayStation 3 version is also still available to purchase, and it's actually more expensive than the remaster. The original is $40. The remaster is $20. It's half price.
Wow.
That's amazing.
There's
So, sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say there's an old thing about the American box art. Sadly, didn't carry over to our box art where there's a hidden Majima inside
Yeah.
the box.
Oh, is
Oh,
They
is that
carried on
not
that
in the-
joke.
Is that not in
Oh.
the European?
No, it's
box?
No.
not.
I can't find it.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got that over here.
Yeah,
It's
give
in
me my-
mine too.
Ah. I was really looking forward to that.
Now.
So, yeah, basically, I've been hanging on. So, as soon as when did it come out? It was like February.
Yeah, about February.
Yeah,
I think,
February.
Yeah. So
That's when the physical version came out, and that's when 5 was released onto the PlayStation Store.
that's right. So I
Yeah.
waited until that physical version was I had, and yeah, that was just before this whole situation happened. You know the one I'm referring to. So
Sega really got their biggest releases out right before that virus.
yeah,
There was this, there was the Sonic movie, and then
Which was
the
actually
Panzer
really good.
Dragoon remake just barely came out.
yeah.
While the virus is getting bad, and apparently
Other
that's
thing
already a
surreal
financial
to think
success.
of now
Yeah.
is the only trace of the Tokyo Olympics of this year is Mario and Sonic.
Yes.
Is the Mario and Sonic game.
Makes me
Yeah.
wonder if they're going to patch the game and just change the number. Like later down the line, they're just going to go, "Oh, there's a new patch note. We just had to replace loads of zeros with ones."
Come to think of it, did Sega already release the standard Tokyo Olympics game already? Because they were
Yeah.
going to
It
do
came
two.
out
They were
in
going to do the Mario
Japan.
and Sonic one, and then they were going to
it came
do
out
the
in
other one
Japan,
that's
but
just
it hasn't come out here
grounded
yet.
in reality.
Oh.
Yeah, kind of. It's sort of grounded in reality. There was a Japanese Switch demo for it. It's basically Mario and Sonic without Mario and Sonic. It's still like really exaggerated sports with like characters doing all special moves and stuff, but you're just playing as like a customized human instead of Mario and Sonic.
It's
But I
funny
think
actually because one of
that's in
those
Japan only, I think.
I saw that some of those character models in that game, and it was really funny because one of them I think he's like a wrestler or something, like the Olympic wrestling that they do,
Oh,
and he actually he's modelled perfectly, and he is actually in a Yakuza game.
really?
So I
Wait,
recognise the
what?
same really similar model. I can't remember his name, but he's
Oh,
one of
weird,
the
'cause I thought it had
some
kind of a
story
cartoon
characters.
art
Oh my
style,
goodness.
but-
Yeah, he's like
Is it
how
one-
they like to put real celebrities in these games.
Is it one of those real life all Japan wrestling dudes in Yakuza 6?
Oh, there was loads
Yeah.
of that in
In
Kiwami
JPW.
2. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
really made me laugh. So yeah, basically, I was joking with Shell Gamer when I got the physical version of these Yakuza remastered because it's 3, 4, and 5, and they're huge games. And I was saying, "Oh, this is going to year," but because I've been stuck indoors all this time, I'm now quite a bit into 5.
Nice.
5 is also one of the best games in the whole series.
At the moment, I am absolutely just in love with it. Like completely enamored. Like for about 15 minutes in because the story kicks off quite slowly in 5, and I got freedom. One of the first things I did was go straight to the Sega arcade, have a go at the Taiko Drum Master, which by the way was brilliant. And I went and
Only 3 songs though, which is really disappointing.
it's a shame.
Right. Just popping downstairs a second.
Okey-doke.
See you later.
And yeah, I went to the claw machine and I could get Mobo and Robo like little toys from Bonanza Bros, and I could
Oh,
get
nice.
an
Yeah,
open toy. had some Miku toys and all that sort of
5.
stuff.
Yeah, I think that game also had Knights and Panzer Dragoon figures.
It did, yes, it
Oh,
did.
cool.
Yeah,
So it's basically
I
Shenmue
really need
now.
to play this series.
it's full on Shenmue now. Yeah, and 5
And,
is definitely like
I
really
feel
goes
like
to town. on
Yakuza is full on Sega full stop.
That's
And,
the thing. It
like
is
in
the
the
most
weird
Sega
thing
they've ever
about those
made.
Club Segas in that
Because
game
everything
is
Sega's
there's
ever
also
made in the past is like mushed into one game. Like,
Surprised I just don't have a
We've
Sega
learned.
16
this is
emulator in
everything
it.
we've learned. This is
And,
everything, everything we've learned from making games
Absolutely.
Just crammed into one series.
And the Club Segas in that game, some of them, I don't know if you've noticed, they also have an unplayable House of the Dead arcade,
Yes.
which is decorated with graphics from Yakuza Dead Souls.
I also saw in one of them it had that Die Hard arcade.
Oh,
Oh, cool.
That's right. Some of them had
Can't play it, but you can
Asian
look at it.
They
Dynamite
had-
Decker.
some of them had Asian
Technically,
Dynamite
but we ain't got the
Deca
rights.
playable. They also
the
had they also had a World Series arcade game in some of them. They used to have Virtua Fighter 5 and Virtua Fighter 4 Final Tuned arcades.
Excellent.
And the ones on the PlayStation 2, they had Outrun 2 machines.
Oh man, but you couldn't play them.
We're going
But
for
hey,
it by
at
the
least
rights. The
at
car's
least
all
there
censored.
actually was an Outrun 2 port on the PlayStation 2.
Yes, which I had that coast to coast.
Yeah, I remember that. I borrowed that off
Yeah.
you.
That's
And come to
great.
think of it, Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution was on that system too.
Oh,
Not Final Tuned, but Evolution was there,
Evolution was, yeah.
which was my first Virtua Fighter, by the way.
Oh, wow. My first Virtua Fighter was 1.
Mine was 2.
I guess.
Yep. Never even found a Virtua Fighter 1 or 2 machine, arcade machine in the wild for decades.
Nah, that's because it was super expensive. Most arcades couldn't afford it.
Although there's a barcade near me that recently got a Virtua Fighter Remix arcade.
Oh,
Not
that's
Virtua Fighter
unusual.
1, Virtua
Wow,
Fighter
that's interesting.
Remix.
That's quite unusual. I always found
Wow.
that version kind of ugly. It's just like they took Virtua Fighter 1 and just slapped bad textures on everything.
Yeah, but at the same
Kinda like
time,
the
there's
art
a
style
lot
of the
more.
original more.
But at the same time, there was a lot more bug fixes and balancing updates.
Oh yeah, gameplay.
I think there's a few new moves, so technically, it's the better game.
yeah,
It's just
ugly.
its looks might not appeal to everyone. It's
Yeah,
not
basically,
really
it's
the
somewhere in
most
between
well
1
remembered
and
look
2, isn't
for
it?
Virtua Fighter.
It's somewhere in between 1 and 2, really, isn't it?
But two's
Anyway.
in Yakuza 5, and Hector's been
Yeah.
he's obsessed with that.
Has he been just like kicking people to oblivion in that and
He's
all?
pretty good at that, but he tends to get to about stage 6 or 7, which is better than I can do.
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
That's better than I can do too.
Yeah.
I can't even get that far in any version other than the Genesis version of Virtua Fighter 2.
Yeah.
And even then, that it takes a lot out of me to do that on Genesis.
I get stuck on Pi. She's like stage 4, I think.
Mm.
Or...
Usually, I get stuck on Jeffrey,
Oh no! Yeah,
and then I get stuck
he's a
on
beast,
Pi if
yeah.
I manage to beat him.
Yeah. So basically, I've been playing, those 3 games. I just to briefly summarize, I'd say that 3 has an incredible story, like really slow build, and then at the end it'll sort of just ramps up a bit like Shenmue in that regard. Really slow start. At the end of it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, let's have it. And then 4, which I've only just discovered most people don't really like 4 that much.
I like
pretty
4.
good. Yeah.
Really? Because
It has
a
2
couple of
horror
years
features.
ago,
Sorry.
before 0 came out, people were saying that 4 was the best one in the series.
Really? I've been hearing very mixed reviews of it.
Well,
thought
this
it
was
was free
before
now.
0 came out. So
Yeah.
then after 0 and then 6 came out, people's opinions shifted based on the newer Yakuza games.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, I mean, what I found about 4 was the story got a bit ridiculous places.
Mm.
Like, you're supposed to believe that Sojima broke out of prison and it just happened to wash up on Kiryu's beach, like, of all the places in the world.
Yeah.
And then it happens again down the line with someone else.
Yeah, Yamazaki. He also washes up there too.
It's like, pull the other one. Like, he wakes up, he's told, go and find Kiryu if you manage to break out. And he's like, who are you? I'm Kiryu. Oh, shut the fuck. So, yeah, apart from that, it's got a couple of really weak storytelling points. And it had 2 of the cheapest bosses in any game I've ever had to fight. One being that prison guard when you're trying to escape. He's such a douche.
Oh
And-
man, he
And
was
the last boss, the very last boss, when you're fighting as Tanamura against all basically an army, and it was the cheapest experience I've ever known.
I
It was
actually
so
had no
stupid.
problem against him.
Really.
I mean, it took a while,
It had
but
me
wasn't
jumping
that
around the
difficult
room
for
in
me.
anger. I was so annoyed. But yeah, other than that, I really enjoyed 4 and 5. Like, I'm just coming towards the end of like Kiryu's chapter, and I just really, really like it. I think 5 is going to be right up there as one of my favourites. And yeah, so the plan is to finish that off, and I'm going to go in to finally finish Yakuza 6, and then
And
Caught
then
up.
no more Yakuza until 7 comes out.
no, because by the time I've got to the end of 6, I'm pretty sure we're going to hear more
You're
new
officially going to
PlayStation
catch
7.
up.
Well, you know what? You made a good decision to play all the others before you get to 6.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
6 is an exceptionally emotional game, and
Oh
a
boy.
lot of that
Probably
context
wouldn't
is
have
going to
made
be
sense.
lost on
Yeah,
you if
probably
you
wouldn't have
hadn't
made
played
sense.
Absolutely, yeah.
any of the
It's
others.
because they introduced
They've
so
done it in
many
the right
characters
order, I
between
think.
3 and
Yeah.
5. So
In fact, from what little I have played of 6, because what I've done is I wanted to walk around the city, and see what they'd done. So I started it, and what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to start again when I come back round.
That
mm,
makes sense.
But I literally just I'm only on like chapter 2, I think.
Hmm.
But yeah, because I've noticed that it's the sort of with 6 in particular, you really have to play 3 at least.
Yeah.
You need to play them all really. 3 is a pivotal game in the storyline.
Mhm.
It's all about that orphanage and all all those
transitions him
characters.
away.
Well,
from
I
the
would
lots of,
argue
like,
that
Yes,
5
yeah.
is. I would argue that 5 is even more important,
Oh, that's
especially
good to hear.
considering. Especially considering that Yakuza 6 starts up like within hours of when Yakuza 5 left off.
Ah, okay. Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing that then. And when you talk about the emotional, I'm not ashamed to admit that some of the
Kind of, yeah.
series really get me.
Mm.
Like the
Oh
ending
yeah,
of Zero.
yeah. I can't go into too much detail without giving a lot of spoilers.
Yeah,
But
please
a
don't.
lot of, but like it gets really real in Yakuza 6.
Oh yeah. I'll tell you now, the ending to Zero had me weep like a baby.
Yeah, same here. And then that also happened with me with Yakuza 6.
Oh, I'm actually looking forward.
They came out at the same sort of time frame, didn't they?
Yeah, they
Right.
were very close. Yeah.
Yeah, they made a big gamble with Yakuza 0, Kiwami, and 6. They basically confirmed all 3 would be releasing at the well, they didn't. Not that all the games would come out the same time, but they announced all 3 at the same time.
Yeah, they're all
Oh,
gonna be
wow.
made.
And then 0 and Kiwami came out the same year, and then
Yeah,
6
yeah.
came out early the very next year.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I would
it
hate to
caught
work for
up
that
quick.
company because they must get worked to death.
What, the localization team?
No, I just mean
I know.
RGG
Oh,
studios in general
yeah.
because they pump out a game a year and they're all massive open.
Well, this is the thing.
really
I mean,
long
not even-
cutscenes.
And
I
they're
mean-
not even like glitchy, messy open
No.
world annual
No.
games like Ubisoft's.
Yeah, this
Ubisoft
isn't
has way
this
more
isn't
stuff.
like when
Yeah.
this isn't like when Ubisoft puts out an Assassin's Creed game or a Far Cry game every year.
No, it's a fully
No.
functioning game that has very little like.
and on the opposite end of the spectrum, you have SquareSoft with this new Final Fantasy VII remake, and it's taken them 5 years, and it's only the Midgar section.
yeah.
Not even the whole frigging game.
I
And then
played
it's
the
going to
demo
take
of
them
that, and I
10 years
really-
to do the next one.
yeah.
And
I
who
played the
knows
demo and I
when
really liked it.
and who knows
I
when
like the
Final
demo.
Fantasy 16 is going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, apparently it's like a 20-30 hour game, so they've really expanded the Midgar portion.
Yeah,
Different.
judging from that small little bit, remember the bit of the demo, which is just
Yeah.
the bombing, isn't it?
Yeah,
You think, how quickly do you do that on the original game? You're in and out in 10,
Yeah.
15 minutes. And for me, on that demo, because of that bloody boss, it took me forever.
yeah,
We've come
So-
a long way.
yeah. So that'd be interesting. Not long
So
till that comes
yeah,
out.
just to I should really shut up. But yeah, basically, I've been playing those 3 alongside Elder Scrolls Online, but I haven't been like really hammering away at that. I've basically been doing my dailies.
Mhm.
Sort of, I just bought my first big house in that game, which is a big deal in that game. It takes a long time. Yeah, it's an MMO. You probably get the picture.
Yeah.
It took me my character. I started playing it pretty much this time last year. He's nearly 1 year old, and he's only just bought his house. And he's level. Get ready for this. I'm level 449. So I'll be
only just got a house.
You're not
exactly.
level
That's
450.
the economy for you.
Not yet. So yeah, I've been playing that, but like I say, like from the ESO, I kind of jump on maybe half hour a day just to do my dailies and get all that stuff done.
Yeah,
And
your asphalt. Yeah.
Yeah, and what's the other game? The other thing was a little bit of GTA because I didn't actually pay attention to the last update, but it's the best update they've ever done. You could buy an arcade and stock it with games that are actually real games. Like they're proper. When I say real, I mean they're like
So
little.
like what we were talking about with Animal Crossing, but they actually did it.
That's the thing. They got a really funny. When we're finished with this, seriously look them up. They've got these really funny Outrun rip-offs that actually got this like really similar artwork and stuff. And the funny thing is, they're called
That
Race.
sounds neat.
The funny thing is, they're called Race and Chase. And Race and Chase is, if you know your GTA, that's the original name of GTA before it was.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it was its
you're
prototype
right.
name,
Yeah.
I remember
Oh, that's
now.
cool.
That is
Yeah.
correct.
So you
That's
basically
such a neat Easter egg.
Yeah, it's really cool. And there's the really funny like kind of Golden Axe rip-off that's weird. Like the guy just has really massive nipples for some reason. There's oh god, there's a couple of others. There's some really old like what do you call that, Spectrum style games, and again they're all Easter eggs from radio ads in Vice City where they're talking about chase the green square with the red square, and they actually make them into games now.
Oh wow.
Honestly, it's the best update they've ever done because what it is, it's actually a front basically. Like you got a little trendy arcade. And I say trendy because it's really decked out in a hipster style, and all your customers are hipsters. And underneath, you've got like you've got like a garage and like a kind of like a heist space underneath. So it's all got that, but the actual arcade itself is a legitimate business that makes proper money over time. And it's honestly, it's my favourite update they've done in a really long time. So I haven't been going mental with that, but I have had I've given it a go. I've got most of the machines now. I've been playing the hell out of them, and seriously, look them up after we're done here on YouTube or something, and you'll see they are actually brilliant. Especially Race and Chase, you'll laugh at the artwork and everything.
That sounds like that arcade sounds like the most badass arcade I've ever seen.
That's the thing; it is brilliant. You can decorate it how you want. You can actually like put the machines where you want to put them. And, you can fully edit the space, and then you can like grades and have like scores and stuff. It's really, really good. Like honestly, I don't think I've done an update that's anywhere near as cool as this. It doesn't make that much money, but I couldn't give a toss because I just hang around in there all the time. I don't actually go out and do any GTA anymore. I just play these little games. So yeah, that's what I've been playing. And there we go.
So we get
Sounds
around everyone
amazing.
now.
Yeah, I figured it would be a while on what we've been playing.
We took over 110 minutes just to talk about all the games we were
I was
playing
going to say
recently.
just under 2 hours, but you've got it down to the minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at this on YouTube. It says we started streaming 111 minutes ago. 111. Most podcasts I watch, this is when they start to wrap it up.
Yeah.
This might actually be a good idea this time.
That's the thing. I think for this one, because it's been a while, I think that might
It's
be a
been a
good
very long
idea.
time.
I think that
Yeah.
we've always had a bit of problem with discipline when it comes to getting this stuff down. Like we always wanted to. Yeah.
Sure.
I think we might have to put our heads together and try and think of a way of reducing the kind of what we've been playing, all that kind of stuff, in the
Yeah.
future. And
Well, it's definitely going to be easier like next time we do this because
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
this is the
we're on a
first
weekly
time you
basis.
guys did this in such a long time.
exactly. So I didn't want to step in too much when we had a free-flowing conversation because it's been a while. We've also been
exactly. Yeah.
indoors. We've got a lot we
Yeah.
want to say, because
Yeah.
we haven't had direct
That's-
communication. I think this one, I think it's fine. I think it's nice and
Oh,
casual.
definitely. Yeah.
And we can try and get more of a structure going with like maybe hitting some of the stuff that's happened in the news and stuff like that, maybe
Yeah.
next week or if it's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
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 definitely.
yeah.
What I'd
fortnightly.
like to do, if possible, if we could like sort of keep this schedule of doing this every Monday, that would be brilliant.
Yeah,
I think we could
Every
probably do
Monday.
that.
Yeah.
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 quite.
Yeah, I
difficult.
think I should be able to do that for as long as I'm still locked in.
Like this
As I'm
setup,
still, as
like,
long as I'm still locked into my place.
Yeah.
I just
Yep.
need to figure out what's going on with my computer because basically we
Yeah.
were an hour late with this live stream because stuff happened. Basically, it's like, oh, okay. Like a few hours ago, I was just like, oh, I'm gonna just start setting this up. I'll just put my headphones in. My headphones ain't working. My Stacey's headphones, they don't work either.
It's the lucky hit curse.
Oh yes. Basically, headphones just don't work on my laptop at the moment for some reason. So I was like, okay, I'll see if we can try and figure that out, and I never did. And I've ended up bringing my laptop upstairs. It's directly next to Stacey's computer. We're using Discord on Stacey's computer, and then I'm live streaming on my computer on my laptop, and it's complicated.
Yeah, this is the channel in a nutshell.
Very much.
So
We
what
get-
could possibly go wrong, Hit Podcast?
But we always get there in the end.
We do eventually get
Except when
there.
we don't, because you don't see those ones.
Oh, like that time we did an episode of Let's Play of 1-2 Switch and the game didn't capture. All we had was
I forgot about
green
that.
screen footage. We just had green screen footage of us just sitting on the floor playing some game you can't see. Like half an hour of us just whatever. I've still got that footage somewhere. I'm
Oh
pretty sure.
god!
Don't know
Imagine that
why.
just out of context. Just-
Just
Yeah.
upload it one day with no
Especially
context.
I'm tempted, to be honest.
Should have done that for April Fools.
that would have been a great April Fool.
Oh, maybe that's something I could just briefly talk about. Is the April Fools I did this year.
Oh god,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
yeah.
what a pain that was. It's like, oh, I haven't got time to make like a video. I just want to make some simple idea. So just
Oh, right. I remember this now.
my original idea was actually a little bit mean spirited. I was actually going to unlist all the Thomas videos just for the day and just see if anyone kicks up a stink. But I thought, nah, that's a bit nasty. So instead, I decided.
That's our money.
Would anyone have even noticed if that happened? Are those
Oh,
like
they
your
would
most popular
notice.
videos?
Oh yeah.
Oh, don't yeah. Yeah, don't even get into that. Basically, the 4 Thomas the Tank videos are by far the most popular videos on our channel. Like they are literally the reason we even exist. In some
Until
capacity. The
until
only
you
reason
did
we ever
that
got ad revenue, you know.
until you did that April Fool's thing, I completely forgot you played a Thomas the Tank Engine.
Well, no one else will.
We
All the
played
subscribers
for them.
we have that have Thomas avatars, and they're like, "Make more
Like
Thomas."
of all the stuff I remember when you played that Battle Angels game. I remember
Oh,
Ride
yeah.
to Hell Retribution. I remember We Dare.
Oh yeah.
And I remember that whole Sonic Mania playthrough.
Oh, nice. Well,
But The Town with No Name. I remember
Oh,
that one
yeah.
because I'd never heard of that game before that.
Nice.
But I did not remember the Thomas the Tank Engine one.
About that.
That's what I mean. They're not even like the best fact about episodes.
By the way, Town with No Name has kind of come around again. It's made
Has
the
it?
meme circles. Yeah.
Yeah, that
What
game got
Yeah.
That game
It's
started-
That's been around at least
that
twice
game
now.
started
Yeah.
getting more popular after your video. Not to say that your video caused it. Maybe it did. I don't know. But even
was
even
probably
James
like-
Rolfe did an AVGN video on it.
It did, yeah, that probably helped.
Well, it made me chuckle because my son's always done clean meme compilations for him. Yes, he quotes irritating stuff all day. But yeah, one of them just had the was it give me a beer, bartender? That scene came up,
Ah,
and I looked up and just had a little
just randomly amongst
chuckle.
them.
yeah. That's,
Wow.
I was like, hey, it's doing the rounds again. Yay!
It's funny how some things that were sort of a meme like 10 years ago are just sort of coming back round again. I've noticed
Yeah.
that with a couple of things. It's just like we're that old now.
Yeah,
the things
kind
that-
of.
Things that were already like old when they were memes the first time round are now a meme again. And it's just like,
We're older.
Yeah, like
I think
the
the one I saw
CDI.
Yeah,
The
that
CDI Mario and Zelda games are starting to come back in
I
vogue.
noticed
I
that,
don't think those
that
ever
weird
stopped.
fake 3D that weird fake Zelda animation, like that 3D.
Yeah, the
That's come back round.
Triforce
The
of Light
Triforce
or
thing,
whatever
yeah,
it's called.
That's come back round for some reason, but someone's like dubbed a different song over it, but it's still the same.
Yeah, most people don't know what that song is. It's actually
Yeah.
"Lose Control"
I
by
actually
Missy
saw.
Elliott.
Yeah,
Oh,
but I saw
I
someone
remember
on
it
Twitter.
'cause I used
saw
to
someone
see-
on Twitter going, "Oh, I found the original song that goes to this animation." And my mind is blown. It's like you could have found that animation easy. Like, that
You
thing's
know,
been around forever.
I still remember when that song came out. I think it was like 2005, 2006. I used to see the music video on MTV all the time.
See, I'm not even talking about the Missy Elliott song. I couldn't give a crap about that. I'm talking about the actual song of the animation. You know, that weird.
Oh, the
Triforce
song
sings,
from the
yeah.
animation. Well, I don't remember the song, but I do remember the animation itself.
Yeah, that was a thing. But yeah, anyway, the April Fool's Thomas thing, I thought, oh, this will be a simple idea. This will be simple, easy, won't take any time at all. I'll replace every single thumbnail on the channel with the same Thomas art, and just like the avatar and the banner and everything. I didn't actually end up doing every single video. I think I might have done about 90% of them, because some of them you wouldn't see if you scroll down far enough. It just sort of cuts off at a point and doesn't show you every single video. So I sort of deliberately left some of the Bully episodes, some of the Shenmue episodes, just sort of left some of those because they weren't really as visible. But I basically made it to the point where if you scrolled around all the playlists and stuff, it looks like everything's been done.
Mm-hmm.
Just going into every video and replacing the thumbnails took me 5 hours. Just doing that, just replacing them with the same image. I had to do it on my phone because it was the quickest way to do it. I had to upload the image onto the phone and then just do it through the app. Even that, I was sitting watching a whole disc of my Dragon Ball DVD box sets while doing it, just like watching Dragon Ball episodes and just tapping the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over. We had, that's a really, speaking of milestones, I've figured it out. This is the 550th video on the channel.
Wow.
Hey.
This is actually
man.
the 550th.
Now that is a buzz.
Including a couple unlisted. But yeah.
Oh, hopefully this will
cool.
rack up now
Yes,
if we do
that's-
these weekly.
Yeah.
I'm well up
Yeah.
for it. Yeah, I've been really missing making content.
Oh, definitely. I've really missed doing these podcasts. Like one thing that came out of because as I said, it took me about 5 hours, maybe roughly, to just replace with the same image. But what took even longer was putting them all back again. I started about 11 p.m. on April Fool's. I wasn't finished until the afternoon the next day. Obviously, I went to bed. Obviously, I went to bed and got up in the morning and then just continued with it. Like I tried to do all the newest videos first at night, went to bed, got up, and then just spent most of the day doing the rest. But it actually made me, as I was doing it, I kept getting distracted by clicking on some of the old videos and watching them again. And some of the old podcasts and stuff. I was just putting them on in the background, like some of the old podcasts and stuff. It was getting really nostalgic. And I think that was what inspired me to sort of bring the podcast back. It was like going through all that stuff. And some of the old videos actually didn't have thumbnails at all. So I went back and retroactively gave them thumbnails that looked like old ones.
Nice.
I think another thing I found as well is I actually still really like this red and yellow aesthetic that this thumbnail has and all that. And I kind of want to keep that because I've been sort of like changing it a bit in in the last year or two. I've sort of been doing the logo in white more and I've been doing different styles and stuff. But I still really like this. I don't know why, but this yellow and red makes me feel warm and cozy. I don't know why. It's probably just because we've been doing this. We've been doing it, so we've had that look for so many years. It's just
Yeah, no, I really think it's synonymous with our channel now.
Yeah,
it's our theme,
sure.
and it really works.
Yeah, pretty much. When you see it for the longest time, you just kind of you can't you can't imagine any other color in its place.
Yeah,
yeah, that makes sense. It's just the aesthetic. It just works. I don't know.
Right. It's like it's the same thing with company logos. So like it's Sega's logo's been blue for like since I don't know the 70s, I think.
That's the one company I'd never want them to change their logo.
And then Nintendo,
you can't change that.
And Nintendo, just a few years ago, they changed their company logo to white, but it's hard. Everyone still imagines it in red, probably because other than the change of the color, the logo looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just want to let people know, like, I don't even know how many people saw that. Like 10 people saw it. I know
one of you better have laughed.
I know Sega Driven, he retweeted it. Well, he tweeted a screenshot and said, "Oh, I thought it was a Photoshop. They actually did it."
Yes.
That was pretty good. I had to retweet that because I was like, "Yes." I put up a screenshot of it on Twitter and was like, "Oh, we've just done some brands. Like, yeah, we changed our brands to be more associated with most of our subscribers." And yeah, I think most people just probably assumed it was a Photoshop, but no, I actually went to the effort of doing it for some bizarre reason. But yeah, putting all those thumbnails back, some of them I had to sort of re-render because I didn't have JPEGs of them, and I had to go back in the source files and redo them and stuff. But I didn't have to redraw anything of anything. It was just like getting the ones that had part 2, part 3, part 4, and just re-rendering them all, and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This guy spent
but it was
a
a
minimum of 10 hours to do this to his channel and then change it back. So one of you better have laughed at it.
Exactly. It was like a nice little trip down memory lane, putting everything together. Like, that's all I wanted to say, really.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I certainly got a really good chuckle out of it.
I certainly remember being confused. And then I was like, oh yeah, he did play a Thomas the Tank Engine game.
Well, yeah, we played 4 of them.
What?
I still think the best one was that
one of them was the Super Nintendo game, right?
No, I think we did a Mega Drive one, 2 Amiga ones. I think one was an iToy.
Maybe I'm just thinking that because I had a Thomas the Tank Engine Super Nintendo game when I was a very little kid.
Yeah, that's the point. You were a little kid and not a grown man, like most of these people.
Yeah, now I only play manly games like
Choramiki.
Like what's a manly game I play?
Yakuza.
Sorry?
Yakuza.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a manly
Rhythm
game
Thief.
during the story, and then it turned into an utterly ridiculous game during the rest of the gameplay.
Yakuza is the manliest game of them all.
For 5 minutes. And then
you have to dress up as an orange or something.
Yeah. Oh, that was the Genesis one we played.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like that cart knocking around somewhere. It's got Blockbuster stickers sort of like glued to it. I can't get off.
I don't know about the SNES one, whether we do that or not, because it's pretty much the same kind of thing.
I'm pretty sure the Super Nintendo game was ported to or was ported from some other platform.
Sorry, we just got a question in the chat saying, do you like modern day games?
No,
sure
they suck.
We sure do.
Oh wait, Yakuza is a modern game, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I spent most of last year on Judgment. I really did. Like, we got it. When did we get it in Europe and I assume America as well at the same time?
January 2019.
No, it was later than that. I think it was more like June or something.
Yeah,
am I right?
Yeah, I believe Judgment came out in North America anyway in June of last year.
That's what I thought, because I remember I was waiting for it.
I remember it came out. I remember Sega was showing Judgment in E3 last year, and the game came out soon after that or soon before that.
Yeah. But basically, I remember, hearing about it and waiting for it. Yeah, like I thought it was half a year. So yeah.
Or wait, maybe I'm thinking of Team Sonic Racing because no. Team Sonic Racing came out the month before E3 last year.
I still want to play that.
And then Team Sonic Racing was, I think, at E3 the year before. No, wait, yes,
No,
it was at E3 the year before.
Right,
Yeah,
I think
so. Yeah.
I think that's a good place to wrap up this 65th Lucky Hit podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah,
That was
and
good
if
to
we
have.
can,
Yeah, I guess we can agree
We'll-
that modern day games suck and just call
No,
it
we
a
can't.
podcast.
No, we can't.
No, they don't.
There are plenty of good games out there at all times. If anything, now's probably the best time to be indie games because there's
Nah,
Too many.
no,
There's too many games.
Yakuza's not a good game. Yakuza is how old
A
is
way of
Yakuza?
life.
It's a 15-year-old lie. And if you disagree, you can call the cops.
eh?
I'll try and figure out what that means.
It's actually a reference to an IGN. It's an infamous IGN video they put out right after the reveal of Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces. They were talking about Sonic. They were saying Sonic is a 25-year-old lie. It's never good. And one of them said,
Oh,
if you
not
disagree, you
that.
can call the
Oh
cops.
yeah, that old stick.
Yeah, they were trolling the whole Sonic community.
I love it. They just got swatted after that.
And then Sonic Mania.
Call the cops.
And then later on, they
And I
were
don't care what they
previewing
say.
Sonic Mania at an event like Tokyo Game Show or something, and they said it was great. And then they said, "Oh, we were just joking when we said Sonic was always bad."
We're not allowed to.
Oh, that old chestnut.
This is-
I think
Yeah,
that's
just
what they
don't-
call backpedaling.
yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Be the same.
So yeah, to summarise, we do play off brand new releases. It just so happens, I think pretty much most of us, apart from Hunk Thunder, who's been playing Animal Crossing, we've been playing a lot of re-releases and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's
I've
just-
been playing Panzer Dragoon as well. Forgot about that.
Oh
the
yeah,
remake.
yeah.
Or the
You know what?
originals.
I actually played the old PC version of Panzer Dragoon.
I went
because
through
that's
one,
the
two, and
only
Saga.
That's the only old version. That's the only version of the old game I own at the moment.
Mm.
I might
But,
play those for Sega Saturn Shindig soon as well.
Oh, that'd be
actually.
fun. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Panzer
that's right.
Dragoon on PC, I got it running on my modern PC. It does work, but
Mm.
for some reason it runs at less than 20 frames per second. I don't know why. I'm
It
guessing
kind
the
of does
Sat-
on the Saturn as well,
Yeah,
though.
to be fair, the Saturn.
Oh, it does?
Yeah,
it does?
the Saturn
Okay, I
version's
thought-
barely
I thought it-
Thanks.
20.
I thought it wasn't
Two.
supposed to happen because the music doesn't sync up right with the stages.
Oh, that's
and I
fine
know
on
it's
Saturn.
supposed to be
Maybe it's compatible
timed
with the
perfectly to work that way.
Mm,
Yeah.
2 runs a lot better, but 1 is atrocious.
It's still fun. But
Oh,
yeah,
it's still fun. Yeah, it just is.
But
boring
yeah,
as
I
well.
played it
Wow.
because I wanted some kind of frame of reference to compare the remake to.
Mm.
Mm. Yeah.
I want to get to that eventually, but I'm going to wait, I think.
Yeah, I forgot to
Yeah.
mention that when I was talking about games I played.
That's fine. We've got next week. If
Yeah,
we do
next
one
week.
then-
Yeah, next week I'll have
right
a
on.
bunch more to talk about.
We'll try and keep it short and sweet, and maybe move on to some news and stuff.
Yeah, we'll,
Yeah,
We'll try to
Mm.
condense it a
Yeah.
little more. We'll talk
Yeah.
about what's going on in the world. Hopefully, some good stuff.
Yeah, we'll try and focus mainly on the positives.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
yeah. Well, hopefully by next week I'll be able to talk about Final Fantasy VII. So
Yeah,
Hopefully.
Yeah.
hope to get
Maybe
it.
I
don't
can
know how
talk
long.
about it too because I downloaded the demo. I haven't had a chance to play.
It's rather good, but just don't expect it to be
the same.
remotely reminiscent to the original.
No.
Oh, I'm not expecting that at all. Don't worry about me.
Then you'll be okay.
So yeah, the next episode will be 66. Will it be? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Excellent.
that's a milestone because it's 260.
Shut it.
Right, so I've been the Gaggerman.
I've been Jerry Terrier.
I've been Hung Thunder.
Been Murray Carey.
I've been Shelf Gamer.
I've been the elk.
Has anyone got any Twitters or websites or YouTubes they want to plug or anything like that?
Lucky hit.
Yeah, go subscribe to them. I think
think
they
I
might.
heard they're
Oh,
quite
yeah.
good or something. They also play new games.
Yeah,
Well, I have my YouTube channel called Elk Plays and Paints, which I mentioned this earlier. I did Let's Plays a couple years ago. I'm not really doing Let's Plays anymore. I want to branch out into different videos. Haven't been able to do that yet, but if you want to watch my old my old Let's Play videos, knock yourself out. Last year, I also did a big hour-long video for the 30th anniversary of the Sega Genesis.
That video is insane. You need to see that. Like the amount of work that went into that video is bonkers. Like I don't even know how you edited that. There was so much going on. Like,
it was not easy. It was not easy.
It's like someone's pouring every ounce of Mega Drive nostalgia down your throat for like a solid half an hour. It's just like barrage of footage and old commercials and game clips.
Well, I know what I'm going to be checking out then.
What was that in The Simpsons where Homer was in hell and
all the donuts in the world? It's like all the Mega Drive. Something. It's just like that.
I know. I did a lot of voices too because I want to get into voice acting. So I used that video as an excuse to really stretch my voice acting muscles. So in that video, you'll see me do the voices of X-Men characters, of the Ninja Turtles, of Scratch and Grounder from Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. I do Toe Jam and Earl voices. I do Mickey Mouse. Who else? I was the genie from Aladdin. I did so many voices. It was embarrassing and hilarious at the same time. But yeah, you guys should all watch that when you have like an hour to spare.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued.
I guess I could also plug some stuff that I've been doing lately because pretty much since the lockdown, I've been really clamping back down into drawing again on like my Instagram, and I've also got a Newgrounds page now, which seems to be doing pretty well because I seem to be getting featured on the front page a few times, which is quite nice. So that's really
good.
If anyone wants to check out my arty stuff, I guess just look for Animated AF because that's what I'm going by on my art stuff now.
Cool.
So yeah, I've been doing that. So you can find Animated AF on Twitter and Instagram and Newgrounds. They're sort of the main places that I sort of post my stuff, as well as Facebook.
Excellent.
I'm trying to clamp down on drawing as well. So got my art Twitter and Instagram. They're both called. Well, the Twitter's called just Cherry Terrier, but the Instagram's called Cherry Terrier Creates.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's not just art that I'm dabbling with. I realised that my iPad also has GarageBand.
GarageBand?
Yeah.
That's what I'm using at the moment.
And
cool.
I've also been dabbling with some trackers on my PC. And I've doing some fun things.
Might
even show you one of them. Like maybe not next week, but you know.
Sometimes so you can show off what you've been working on. Yeah.
I don't have anything yet, but I will be. I've got a music channel that I really, really need to get on. I'm getting sick of talking about it now. Other than that, I'm hoping to contribute a series that I'll probably be on this channel, but I'm not 100% sure. I've got to run it by everyone first. But it's the long talked about but never gotten on with Shane and me series. Got the theme tune, got quite a lot of the writing done, and I just need to draw some horrible pictures to go with it, and I'm ready to go. But yeah, at the moment, I'm afraid. Just I'm working on stuff eventually. Although I just got against your rule, never promising something on YouTube.
Yeah.
Part one on it.
Part one.
Yeah. Volume 1. Sega Smash Pack, Volume 1. What is it?
Excellent.
Yeah.
I should really come up with a way to share my art too, because I draw stuff as well.
Oh, by the way, anyone listening to join our Discord, just email us at luckyhitseries@gmail.com and we will send you over an invite and we can chat about stuff because we have quite a few little. We've got like an art section and a music section and all that kind of stuff, and we just use it to just chat pretty much daily. So if anyone wants to join our Discord,
Absolutely.
just give us a bell somewhere, or maybe even just comment on the video or anything like that, and I'll send an invite.
Yeah, for real. That's how I got in touch with these fellas.
Yeah. So, and that's how we're even doing this podcast. So the other thing with this podcast as well, now that we're doing it online, I'd actually like to have some more guests on the podcast as well. So if anyone's interested,
Yeah, it's always been nice in the past when we got new faces in every now and then. That was really cool.
yeah,
New
now
faces
it'll
and new
be
voices.
now it can be literally anybody.
In the whole world.
Maybe you.
Everyone is here.
Could be you, the
Excellent.
Scottish lad.
So I don't want to sound like really cheesy, but I just think it might be worth mentioning. Stay indoors, try and stay safe, and stay
course.
sane. That's cool as well.
Yeah,
Because
that's
we all
Wash
know-
your nasty
Probably
ass
one of-
hands.
Yeah, wash your hands. But just please stay in, because the amount of people that aren't. I mean, I live in a village that's
silly.
full of very, very irritating people. I'm not going to go on and make it a big political, but past
Yeah.
my window, I see people in groups just going out. All you're doing is making this whole situation last longer. So that I'm not going to go on. That's going to be it. But yeah, just stay safe. Try and stay sane. Everyone hates being stuck
Yeah.
indoors like all the
Yeah,
time.
that's the thing people ain't saying enough is stay sane as well, because
Yeah.
like, this whole thing is making a lot of people not only very bored, also kind of loopy.
Yes, yes.
Just find
So,
a game to play
yeah.
and sit down and
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
find all the
and
things that
even
help you to chill out.
Yes.
And even Discord is trying to give people an outlet to gather in groups and do whatever it is they want to do. Because I still
Yes.
have this notification about for how Discord can help stuff like book clubs and dance
Yeah.
groups and
Yeah.
conventions.
Oh, yeah.
It's still on my Discord window right now.
So yeah.
So
we've got that. Yeah.
Excellent.
you will find a way. Life
Yeah.
finds a
So yeah.
Also, wash your nasty ass.
Yes.
What's your
Good advice.
handy
Yeah.
ass?
Don't
and
just
ass
spit in your
ass.
hands and wipe it all
Don't-
over the fruit and vegetables.
Let's see.
God.
People
I
have
thought
been.
we weren't going to talk about it.
No. I just wanted to say that little bit. Just yeah.
Oh no, of course, no. It was more a case. Yeah, everyone take care, man.
Take a
Yeah,
shower
everyone's got
once
to
in a
take
while.
care. Dirty bastards.
But yeah,
Yeah.
just stay in, and you can listen to us talk crap for ages if you want.
Yeah, you go back to the previous 64 podcasts. There's probably at least 120 hours of us
I couldn't
talking
even
shit there.
Imagine how many hours that actually is, because we've
Yeah,
had
because some of them
like-
were like 3 hours long.
Well,
4
do you remember
hours
the?
long.
Do you remember the video one? I think wasn't that like 5 hours?
Oh
Something like
yeah.
that. The Fidcast. It was like
Mm.
parts.
Like a few E3s as well. Just like we'd
Yes.
just go one show after another.
Yeah,
after
I
another,
think
just
so.
not
I
stopping.
think one of those E3s you guys streamed for like 6 or so hours.
Yeah. Oh yeah. At least.
Also,
think we did a
I
few
was
that
in
were
some of
10
those
hours.
E3 streams, so you want
Oh,
to
the
watch
recent
those
ones, yeah.
again,
Yeah.
you'll hear my voice.
Yeah. So.
I
Oh yeah.
also
There's,
set up a best of Lucky Hit playlist, which is like our personal favorite videos of the whole channel.
Oh,
That was another
that's
thing
a
while I was doing the
nostalgic-
thumbnails.
yeah.
I can think of a
Basically, I
couple videos I would put in a best of.
Yeah, basically we picked not necessarily the most popular videos, just the ones that are the ones we're most proud of. Like
Yeah.
our most
Yeah.
proudest
Mhm.
moments, like some of our best moments on like the charity live streams.
That's
Some
still
of our
my
best Let's
my
Plays
number one
stuff.
proudest moment was that night of the charity live
Oh
stream.
yeah, that first charity live stream. Yeah.
Just we had so many concerns about the internet connection not holding up, about
Mm.
nobody like actually joining in.
yeah.
Mhm.
Because
We
I'm
ended
not
up,
gonna.
like, earning like over 350.
Hey, if the
pounds for
bandwidth we
charity,
have now while everyone's stuck indoors using up their internet can handle this podcast, then the bandwidth when everything's back to normal can handle anything.
Yeah. Think
And
of
with
us
that-
as a stress test.
yeah. And with that, we'll be off.
Okay.
Excellent. Good night, everybody.
Bye bye.
Night.
Bye.
Mwah.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.